Last Raps Baseball is on the air, and tonight we're bringing you Game 2 of the Climax series of the Nippon Professional Baseball League from the Pacific League. It is going to be the Fukuoka SoftBank Hawks and the Orix Buffaloes for Game 2. Hi, gozaimasu, konnichiwa, konbanwa, everyone, wherever you're at in the world. Welcome to Last Raps Baseball's live commentary of the Nippon Professional Baseball League. The views and opinions are ours, and we're not affiliated with the NPB, the Pacific League, the Central League, or their sponsors. We're giving live English reports on the games being played and hope that English-speaking audiences around the globe can enjoy the game on YouTube and Twitch along with us. Tonight, it is going to be Game 2 of the series featuring the Fukuoka SoftBank Hawks and the Orix Buffaloes. Last night, it was a walk festival, as the Orix Buffaloes were the beneficiaries of that, and they went on to a 5-0 victory over the Fukuoka SoftBank Hawks. And tonight, it is going to be Game 2 of the series. It is already a 2-0 lead for the Buffaloes. The way it starts is it's a 6-game series, but the Buffaloes, who are the higher-seeded team, start the series with a win up 1-0. They now have a 2-0 lead. They've got to capture 2 more wins out of the final 5 games to be able to go on to the next series. So first of all, we'll give you the starting lineups, beginning with the visitors from Fukuoka. Leading off and playing second base is number 68, Masaki Momori. Hitting second and playing third base is number 23, Yukio Shudo. Batting third in right field is number 9, Yuki Yanagita. In the cleanup spot and doing the designated hitting is number 54, Alfredo Despania. Batting fifth at shortstop is number 6, Kenta Imamiya. Hitting sixth in at center field is number 36, Taisi Makihara. Batting seventh tonight is the first baseman wearing number 52, and that's Richard. Batting eighth in left field is number 31, Tomoya Masaki. And batting ninth and doing the catching is number 19, Takuya Kai. And they are going to be facing a left-hander in Hiroya Miyagi. Rolls a 11-8 record to the hill. He's worked 148 in the third innings. He's allowed 137 hits, 57 runs, 52 of which have been earned. He's walked 30 and struck out 127. And all to that to an ERA of 3.16. So those are the specs on Miyagi. And now the starting lineup for the home team from Orix, or I should say from Osaka, the Orix Buffaloes, where they play their home games. Leading off in center field is number 1, Shuhei Fukuda. Batting second at third base is number 6, Yuma Mune. Hitting third in right field is number 67, Kai Nakagawa. And the cleanup spot is the left fielder, number 7, Masataki Yoshida. Batting fifth at second base is number 5, Masahiro Nishino. Batting sixth and doing the designated hitting is number 99, Yataro Sugimoto. Hitting seventh at first base is number 53, Tio Okada. Batting eighth is the shortstop, number 3, Ryo Adachi. And batting ninth and doing the catching is number 23, Tori Fushimi. And they're going to be facing Yugo Bando, who has a 3-3 record on the regular season. He worked 62 in the third innings, allowed only 45 hits, 22 runs, all of which were earned. He walked 24 and struck out 48 and had an ERA of 3.18. Our friend St. Louis Cardinal fan 1990 and Blue Jay fan is in the house. We welcome everybody who will be in here with us tonight. We're looking forward to all the action. It's going to start in about just over 60 seconds, so we'll be back in a few to give you all the calls right after this. Welcome back, everybody. The managers have exchanged lineup cards and the umpires have had their meeting at home plate, and we're ready to resume or to begin the action here in game two to resume the series. It is going to be the Buffaloes and Hawks in the second game here tonight. Around the NPB, of course, there's only one other series going on, and that is in Tokyo. The Yakult Swallows are playing the Hanshin Tigers, and then last night, it was a 7-1 victory for the Swallows over the Tigers. Of course, that game is going off at the same time as this one, and we'll hopefully be able to keep you abreast of all the action that is going on in that game. Lots of action last night, especially early and often for the Tokyo Yakult Swallows. There were some changes in the lineup for tonight's ball game, as some of the lineup has been altered a little bit. The Fukuoka SoftBank Hawks have two new players in their lineup tonight. Richard gets the nod at first base, and it is Masaki who is in left field tonight. So those are the two changes for the Hawks. On the flip side for the Buffaloes, they have made three changes to their starting lineup. Tio Okada gets the nod at first base tonight. It is Ryo Adachi who gets the start at shortstop. He replaces Kotaro Kobayashi, who had an abysmal game at the plate yesterday. And then we have Tori Fushimi, the catcher, who is getting his first taste of the Climax series. So that is it. We're waiting for the teams to take the field. Looks like we got a slight, not to say delay, but a slightly off time start. The Buffaloes are now taking the field. It looks like it's going to start about 2 or 3 minutes past the top of the hour. So we'll be back in just a couple moments as the starting pitcher is on the bump, getting ready to get himself warmed up, and that is Miyagi. We'll be back after this in just a few. Welcome back, everybody. This one is just about to get underway as the left-hander Miyagi is completing his warm-up tosses. He is going to be facing the top of the order for the Fukuoka SoftBank Hawks. It'll be Masaki Momori, Yukio Shudo, and Yuki Yanagita to get things going. We had a few people message us earlier today wanting to know who we thought is going to win this game tonight. And, of course, the first thing I thought was, I really don't know if I trust the pitcher Bando for the Fukuoka SoftBank Hawks. That is the problem there. Miyagi has had a above 500 record on the season, although he did get touched up in his last start, and he has not been perfect, although against the Hawks this year, he's been decent. So we'll see how he fares today now that we're into playoff action. So I'm curious to see how that is going to work. I would say that, in my opinion, before the game started, I was hedging my towards the Orix Buffaloes to win again tonight, and if they do that, they'll be up 3-0 in the series, and it'll basically be an insurmountable lead. I did see a statistic yesterday that it was about 94% of the teams that win their first two, or win the first game, win the series if they're already up 1-0. And there's a first pitch swung on, its grounded past the diving first baseman into the right field corner. Nakagawa picks it up, and he fires it into second base. And we are underway. The first pitch of the ball game, Momori delivers with a double into the right field corner for a leadoff hit. And that is going to bring up Yukio Shudo to the plate. So the ball game right underway, and he makes no mistake about it. Hammering that ball right down the right field line past the diving first baseman Tio Okada. While Yukio Shudo steps to the plate, he was 0 for 4 in last night's affair. He is stepping up to the plate here. I'm curious to see what they're going to do with Shudo. I would not be surprised if he would square to bunt, and that's exactly what he's doing. He's already in bunt position. The pitch is delivered, and it's bunted foul right at home plate. The count is 0-1. I think the Hawks are looking for the momentum early on here with that leadoff double by Momori to be able to cash a run in here. Get him over to third base. There's multitude of ways to be able to bring that runner home. A wild pitch, pass, ball, a balk, of course, all come to mind, as well as the balls that get put in play. And I think that the Hawks are thinking the same thing, probably get the momentum here and put the Buffaloes on their heels straight away. Here's the pitch. It is a fastball taken for a called strike, and now the count is 0-2 to Shuto. So we'll see if they keep the bunt on or if they take it off at this point. So no balls and 2 strikes. I've really enjoyed watching Shuto play over the last month or so. He can run a little bit. Both he and Mamori at the top of the order have stole north of 20 bases this year. So the left-handed hitting Shuto waiting on the lefty Miyagi, who now steps off and reaches for the rosin bag. So the lefty-lefty matchup is on full display here as Miyagi goes back onto the rubber and he's ready to go again. As he nods from his sign from Fushimi and he works to the set position. He checks the runner Mamori at second and now delivers. It's a fastball that misses well off the outside corner. The count is now 1-2. So 1 ball and 2 strikes to Shuto. Hits were at a premium last night in the ball game. He did not have a ton of hits, did Fukuoka, as they were only able to manage 6 hits on the night. And they couldn't really string much together. Here comes the 1-2 pitch, and there's a breaking ball swung on it. Is grounded softly to first. Okada gets it, and he wins the race to the bag. As that is going to retire Shuto on a ground out to 3. It is going to advance the runner Mamori over to third. So he's now at third with 1 gone, and that brings up the right fielder Yuki Yanagita. I'll be curious to see how the Buffaloes are going to manage this, if they're going to play in early or if they're going to trade the run for the out. Sometimes you don't see in Major League Baseball, you rarely see the infield in early. And the reason for that is that it can provide a big inning or potential for big innings. And here's the first pitch to Yanagita. It's a fastball taken for a called strike, and the count is quickly 0-1. So teams generally will try to trade runs for outs early in the game. Later in the game, it's a different story. So here's the 0-1 pitch now coming to Yanagita. As the lefty stares in at the sign from his catcher Fushimi, and he works to the belt. And now he kicks and delivers. It's a fastball that just misses off the outside corner. And the count goes to 1-1. Buffalo is looking to get a stranglehold here in the series if they can win today. As we said, they'll be up 3-0, even though they've only played 2 games, as they have that 1 game advantage given to them. I kind of like that a little bit. I don't think you'll ever see that in North American baseball. There's a fastball that misses outside. The count is 2-1. It's a gate receipt that you would lose. And obviously, that is the idea behind that, is you play your best of 7 and you start everybody even up. But in the Japanese league, the team with the higher seed gets that extra win to start. So 2 balls and 1 strike to Yanagita as the lefty Miyagi kicks and fires. It's a fastball that misses down and in, and the count now goes to 3-1. So 3 balls and 1 strike. Kyocera Dome is closed up. I didn't check the attendance on last night's game. I was meaning to do it, as I was saying about how it was a little bit disappointing at the Kyocera Dome with so many empty seats in the upper level. Here's the 3-1 pitch. It's a breaking ball that misses outside. It's going to be ball 4, and Yanagita is aboard with a walk. That's going to put runners on the corners, and that'll bring up Alfredo Despaigne. Well, for Despaigne, he was 1 for 4 in last night's ball game. As he strides to the plate. Despaigne on the season, he hit .269 with 14 homers and 40 RBIs. Fushimi is stepped out in front of the home plate, and he's flashing the signals for the first and third defense. So the runner at third base is Mamori. The runner at first is Yanagita. And Despaigne here looking to do some damage early. The lefty Miyagi delivers the breaking ball that just floats in on the outside corner for a called strike. The count is 0-1. Plate umpire is very slow and deliberate in giving his calls. kind of hang in there and wait and see. The ball's already going back to the pitcher from the catcher by the time he goes up with his left hand. So here comes the 0-1 offering as Miyagi holds set, and now he fires. It's a fastball that misses down, and the count is 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. Or if you're going to see any shenanigans here from the base runners, Momori gets his lead over at third, as he does run well. Espana waggling the bat, waiting here on the 1-1 offering from the lefty Miyagi, who kicks and fires. It's a fastball that misses down, and the count is 2-1. Nice job by the catcher Fushimi, as he had to go to his backhand almost, as he had to be able to get that pitch. It's hard to catch left-handed pitchers when you have the lefties, as their ball runs from the catcher's right to his left. You try to backhand a lot of balls that are in flight. And then what ends up happening is as soon as you have to turn the glove over, you chicken wing yourself, and that's where you can get beat on a pass ball. And here comes the pitch. It is a fastball swung on. It is tapped slowly up the middle. They go to second for 1, back over to first. It's not in time. It's going to go down as a fielder's choice, and that is going to erase Yanagita at second, but it's going to score the runner Momori from third, as the Hawks have now taken a 1-0 lead here in the first inning. Espana is going to get himself an RBI on that effort there, and good hustle by the big fella down the line to be able to keep himself out of the double play. He chopped it over the head of the pitcher. Nice play by the shortstop Adachi to feed it over to Nishino, but they couldn't get the back end turned. And that is going to erase Yanagita for the second out. That's a 6-4 fielder's choice. But it is the result. The Hawks now have the lead 1-0. And we have a bot in the house tonight. And we're going to have to block the bot. And we have fired them off there. Surprising, we don't have enough people in here yet for the bot to be jumping in, but the bots are on the attack. There's the first pitch delivered to Kenta Imamiya. He takes that for a called strike. The count is 0-1. So no balls and 1 strike to Imamiya. The lefty Miyagi holds in the set position. Now he kicks and delivers. It's a breaking ball waved at and missed. The count now goes to 0-2 on Imamiya. Imamiya will be followed by Taisi Makihara should he be able to find his way on base here. Imamiya was 0-2 in last night's ball game. He did have himself a sacrifice bunt. That's something that he is best known for, as the right-handed hitting shortstop waits on the offering here from Miyagi. And Miyagi kicks and delivers. It's a fastball that misses down and away. The count is 1-2. This has not been an easy inning for Miyagi. 16 pitches. And that first pitch of the ball game that Momori was able to hook down the or drill down the right field line, or plus the just past the first baseman, certainly has given the momentum here to the Fukuoka SoftBank Hawks. And there's a fastball swung on and missed. And Imamiya is down on strikes for the third out of the inning. But there was damage in the inning. There was a run on the double by Momori. 1 hit, no errors, and 1 runner left aboard. We are now through a half inning. It is the Fukuoka SoftBank Hawks 1, the Orix Buffaloes coming to bat. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back with the call in just a couple of moments. Appreciate you all for listening in with us tonight. We'll be right back after this. Welcome back, everybody. We're moving to the bottom of the first inning. It'll be Shuhei Fukuda, Yuma Mune, and Kai Nakagawa to come to bat for the Buffaloes in their half of the first inning. Fukuda, in last night's ball game, was 0 for 4. He is the table setter and the center fielder. So he needs to be able to set the table if those behind him are interested in eating. And that is the requirement he's going to have tonight against the starter Hugo Bando. Well, Bando has completed his warm-up tosses, and we're ready to get this one resumed and underway again. Our friend Michael Mills here asked the question, anybody else here riding over the 5.5? I don't know if there's a lot of people in here right now, Michael, but I can tell you, in my opinion on this game, I think this one here could go on the over with this pitching matchup here tonight. Here comes the first offering here from Bando, who kicks and delivers. It is a fastball that's taken for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. For Fukuda on the season, he hit .268 with no homers and 24 RBIs. As the left-handed hitter waits on the offering from Bando, it's a fastball that misses down, and the count is 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. Defensively tonight for the Hawks, and we'll get to that in a moment as the 1-1 pitch is about to be delivered here to Fukuda. As the right-hander kicks and delivers, it's a fastball that's swung on. It's chopped over the head of the shortstop, and it is fielded over the head of the pitcher. It is fielded by the shortstop, but the throw is not going to be in time, as that is going to allow the runner Fukuda to reach safely. It's going to be an infield single. As we get the replay of that one again, it was a chopper right over the head of the pitcher, and it was actually the second baseman who had ranged to field it. It looked like Yamamiya had it. But that is going to allow Fukuda to reach base. And if our friend Michael Mills is still here, that's a good sign for you that we're getting base runners early, because that means there's probably going to be scoring to follow. Well, that brings Yuma Mune to the plate. For Mune, he is 1 for 4 in the series last night as he steps up to the dish. Curious to see how Mune plays this out. It doesn't look like they're looking to bunt. I wonder if they're going to straight steal Fukuda. So here comes the first offering from the right-hander Bando, who kicks and delivers. It's a fastball. It's taken for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. Michael says no outs. There's no outs and a runner on first. It was an infield single. So no balls and 1 strike to Mune. As the runner Fukuda establishes his lead over at first base. Mune waggles the bat. And here comes the offering from the righty Bando, who kicks and delivers. It's a breaking ball swung on and grounded foul just past the first base coach's box, and the count now is 0-2 to Mune. I would have thought maybe that if they would have been playing tit for tat, they might have had Mune bunt in this situation and taken the chances with Nakagawa and Yoshida to bring home the runner Fukuda. They have chosen to let Mune swing away, and I don't know if that's the right decision, but we'll find out here in moments. So 1 no balls and 2 strikes as the righty Bando gets his sign from his catcher Takuya Kai. He works sent at the chest. And now he kicks and fires. It is a fastball that just misses off the outside corner, and the count goes to 1-2. Good discipline there by Mune to watch that one go by. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. Well, the runner Fukuda again establishes his lead over at first. I've been able to get a feel for the crowd tonight in this one here, if they are getting a decent attendance or not. They throw over to first base again, and diving back again is Fukuda. Fukuda can run a bit. He had 9 stolen bases on the year. He's not even though he's playing center field, he's not known for his base stealing. So Mune waggles the bat, and the right-handed pitcher Bando gets his sign from his catcher Kai. And now he works to the set. Here comes the 1-2 pitch. The right-hander kicks and delivers. It's a fastball that misses inside, and the count goes to 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes to Mune. So both teams were able to get their leadoff hitters aboard in this one. They Buffaloes haven't moved Fukuoka off of first base yet. So we'll see what happens here. I was starting to say before the game, there were some folks that were messaging me who I thought was going to win, and I still am going to hedge with the Buffaloes in this one here. I don't know why. I didn't really like the way that the Hawks were playing last night, and if that trend continues, they could be in trouble. They did make a couple of changes in their lineup. There's a fastball swung on. It's grounded over to short. They go to second for one, back to first. It's not in time. It's going to go down as a fielder's choice, 6-4. That's going to erase Fukuoka for the first out of the inning. And Mune is safe at first on the back end. And that'll bring up the right fielder, Kai Nakagawa. Well, for the Hawks, in some ways, they're in a decent position because it really hasn't changed. They got an out, and I probably think I'd rather have Mune running on the back end than I would have Fukuoka. So now that brings up Kai Nakagawa to the plate. Weren't able to get two for the price of one on that one, but they did get the lead out, and the lead out is a little bit quicker than the trailer. So here comes the first offering now to Nakagawa as Bando holds at the chest. And now he kicks and fires. It's a fastball that misses outside for ball one, and the count is 1-0. Let's say Bando takes his time. It's not like he's in a major rush. Yesterday, the starting pitcher for the Fukuoka SoftBank Hawks, Ishikawa, was in an absolute race. He couldn't get rid of the ball fast enough when he got it in his hands. So 1 ball and no strikes it is here to Nakagawa, as the right-hander works to the set position. And now he kicks and delivers. It's a breaking ball that misses down, and the count is 2-0. So 2 balls and no strikes to Nakagawa. Just as a programming reminder, we'll be here for every game of this series. And if it wraps up early, then we'll look to see if the Swallows and the Tigers are going to go a little bit longer, then we would jump over and give you the rest of those games. So 2 balls and no strikes as the right-hander holds in the set position. And now he kicks and delivers. It's a fastball swung on it. It's grounded over to second. They go to the shortstop, Imamiya, for one. Back to first. It's not in time. Yet another fielder's choice, this one of the 4-6 variety. It's going to erase Yuma Mune for the second out. So he is gone for out number 2, and that's going to bring up the left fielder, Masataka Yoshida. So again, the situation, I'm curious to see how this plays out. Yoshida was 2 for 4 in last night's ball game, had a homer and an RBI. He finished second in the NPB's Pacific League in batting average, trailing only Go Matsumoto of the Hokkaido Nippon Ham Fighters. But Yoshida is a professional hitter at the plate. If he gets a single here, that's only going to move Nakagawa over to third. If they would have bunted earlier on, then that probably would have been a situation where they could have scored a run. But they're going to have to at least get to 2 more hitters unless it's an extra base hit to cash in that runner at first base. So here comes the offering from Bando. It's a fastball that misses inside for ball 1, and the count is 1-0. So 1 ball and no strikes. Last night he golfed, and that ball just over the right field wall for the home run. So he is taking his regular season batting form right here into the playoffs with him. Hasn't skipped a beat, has Yoshida. So here comes the 1-0 pitch as the right-hander holds set again. And now he kicks and delivers. It's a fastball that misses inside, and the count is 2-0. We noticed that last night with Yoshida. They were really working him under the hands. They trying to make him feel uncomfortable at the plate, not letting him get his hands extended through the ball, going to try to tie him up a little bit. That pitch there almost hit him in the elbow. He does have protection on the lead elbow. So 2 balls and no strikes to Yoshida. And as we mentioned, we'll try to pick up some out-of-town scores as necessary. The game is underway, and it is the Tigers who have a 1-0 lead over top of the Swallows. That is still early in that one. It's in the bottom of the first. It was the RBI from Koji Chikamoto that drove in Nakano. Nakano had led off the ball game with a triple. And then Chikamoto, with one out, was able to drive him in. There's a breaking ball taken for a called strike. The count is now 2-1 to Yoshida. Don't check that. We lost something somewhere here. Yoshida actually reached base. Apologize to you guys for that one. We skipped a little beat here. So we got runners at first and second. The first pitch was a breaking ball to Nishino. So somewhere along the line, we lost our feed here, and we'll try to get you that back in a second. So we got one strike to Nishino. It's a fastball taken for a called strike, and the count is now 0-2. It happens every once in a while. We get one of those things where it's a bit of a change in what we have. So 2 strikes here to Nishino. Actually, that pitch that we said that had come inside to Yoshida actually had hit him. We were talking about how it had come in close, and they did finally plug the left fielder. So here comes the 0-2 pitch to Nishino with runners at first and second. As he delivers it as a split finger pitch, swung on and missed. So almost a bit of a formality. That is going to do it here, as that is going to retire Nishino for the third out of the inning. Well, they had no runs in the inning. There was a hit. There were no errors, and there were 2 Buffaloes left the board. We're now through 1 complete at the Kyocera Dome in Osaka. And it is maybe we're having our struggles here tonight, guys. That ball they ruled as a foul ball. We already had our hitter rung up for strike number 3, but that is not the case. We're going to see what happens. This may be one of those formalities. Here comes the pitch from Bando. It's a ball that misses down. So it looked like to us that was not a strike. I'm going to have to get the replay on that one there. Let's see if we can backtrack a little bit to see what it was. It looked like he did swing and miss, obviously, but they said he got a piece of it. So 1 ball and 2 strikes it is to Nishino, with runners at first and second and 2 away. Here comes the offering now from Bando. So between myself and the home plate umpire, who takes forever to make a call, we'll have to hang in here with you. There's a ball that's a fastball swung on it. It gets away from the catcher, and it's all the way to the backstop. And that is going to advance the runners. It looks like it's going to be a wild pitch. It's going to load the bases. I've got to hold my tongue here for a moment to see if on the replay, if there was a piece of that was hit. I don't think the Hawks are going to the VAR. That was a split finger pitch that missed down. Nishino waved at it. Takuya Kai unable to block it and keep it in front. Goes all the way to the backstop, and Nishino has got himself a strikeout. And he reaches on the wild pitch. And Yoshida is now over at second. It's going to bring Yataro Sugimoto to the plate. And they're taking a look at the replay as they're out there. On the mound, both the pitcher and the catcher, Kai, as they're conferencing with one another, they're staring at the big board in straightaway center field, taking a look at that replay. So we go from a possible strikeout to now where the bases are now loaded with Yutaro Sugimoto striding to the plate. Well, the big fella last night was a 2 for 3. He had a couple RBIs and a stolen base in the ball game. And so he is stepping up to bat here. Important situation. In a clutch situation. On the season, he hit 235. He did have 15 homers and 51 RBIs. So you got to be delicate when you pitch to Yutaro Sugimoto, as he has the ability to put the ball in the seats. So the right-hander works into the set position. Now Bando ready to deliver. He kicks and he fires. It's a breaking ball swung on, and it's tapped foul over to the third base coach's box. The count is 0-1 to Sugimoto. So no balls and 1 strike. The crowd is cheering their home club on here, looking for a run in this situation here. And certainly that'll be what they're trying to push across here to tie this ball game back up. So this game has a feeling a lot like last night's game over in the other league. So we're scoring by both teams early and often. Here comes the 0-1 pitch now to Sugimoto. As Bando holds in the set position. And he kicks and delivers. It's a fastball swung on it as line foul into the seats down the right field line. Sugimoto was late on that one, but he did hit that ball hard. So no balls and 2 strikes. It's the one criticism I would have about Sugimoto is he does strike out a lot. That is something that he is done throughout the season this year. He goes in a bit of waves. Here comes the 0-2 offering as the right-hander Bando works to the set position. And here comes the 0-2. He kicks and delivers. It's a split finger pitch missing down, and the count is 1-2. Just to give you some perspective, 379 at-bats for Sugimoto this year, and he struck out a whopping 135 times. That's quite a bit of strikeouts for the amount of at-bats he had. So 1 ball and 2 strikes to the Buffalo's designated hitter. He's waggling the bat. Waiting here on the offering from the right-hander Bando, who checks his sign with Takuya Kai. He works set at the belt, and he raises to his chest. And here comes the 1-2 offering. It's a fastball swung on it. It is grounded to the shortstop, Imamiya, and he's not going to be able to make a play anywhere. As he had to slide to his right. It's going to go down as a hit, and it looks like we've got another run crossing the plate. So as Imamiya was sort of looking around for where the ball was, or did they throw out Yoshida trying to score? We're going to have to get a look at this one. Did they run themselves out of the inning? I'm not sure here yet. We're going to go and have a look here. They're holding everybody up. But it looks like that is it. Yoshida tried to stretch another run in. It's going to go down as a single for the hitter Sugimoto. He's going to get himself an RBI. It scores Nakagawa, and then Yoshida is thrown out at the plate 6-2 for the 3rd out of the inning. A little bit of boneheaded base running there by the veteran left fielder for the 3rd out. And that is going to run the score at 1-1 as this inning is over. And so in the inning, there was 1 run in the inning. They had a pair of hits. There was no errors, and there were 2 runners left the board. We're now through 1 complete. We're all locked up at ones between the Buffaloes and the Hawks. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back in a few with all the action after this. Welcome back, everybody. Our friend 610 Kyle says he is on over 5.5. And then he is, it's pretty crazy. I'm looking at Michael Mills here. So we had a breaking ball that misses down and away to Taisi Makihara, and the count is quickly 1-0. Makihara, Richard, and Masaki here to face the left-hander Miyagi here in the inning. There's a breaking ball swung on it. Has popped up over on the left side of the infield. And that is going to be put away by the third baseman Mune for out number 1. So 1 up and 1 away. Our friend Michael Mills says, what happened? He said he struck out swinging, and then I saw it was 1-1 after the first. Yeah, so what happened was he struck out, but they said that he got a piece of the ball. So it ended up that he did strike out eventually, but the ball went all the way to the backstop. And then the ball went to the backstop, allowing the batter runner to reach first base. And that ended up putting the putting the bases to be loaded. And then it was Sugimoto who ended up hitting a single to the shortstop. And that scored the base runner Nakagawa from third. And then the shortstop threw out Yoshida, who tried to score all the way from second. There's a breaking ball that is swung on and missed by Richard, and the count is now quickly 0-2. So no balls and 2 strikes to Richard. He is getting his first start of the Climax series. He's batting 159 on the season with 3 homers and 5 RBIs. The big fella is getting the nod at first base today. So some crazy shenanigans in that inning, and you had to be sharp with it. There's a breaking ball that misses down, and the count is 1-2. So that's how they got their run. And then the ironic part was, as we said, the shortstop Imamiya slid to his backhand side. The ball kind of trickled away from him, and Yoshida just kept wheeling right around from second base to try to score, and Imamiya threw him out by about 5 steps. So I don't know what the decision was. They would have had the bases loaded, and they'd still be hitting. There's a fastball that is swung on and fouled away, and the count is 1-2 to Richard. So some bizarre stuff. I don't know if it's a full moon in Japan. It's certainly not a full moon here yet. But the baseball dictated that it could be that in itself. There's a breaking ball swung on and missed. And we're going to wait here because Sanagawa is complaining and saying that he's tipped the ball. He doesn't think that he's out. So he's talking to the home plate umpire right now, and he's showing him the end of the bat, saying this is where it is, but that's the way it is. He's been retired. So in 2 innings, we've had 2 situations where there's been a foul tip. We're going to get it here. I have to say, I don't think Sanagawa is going to win that case. He's down on strikes for the second out. That's going to bring up the left fielder, Tomoya Masaki. And the first pitch delivered to him as a breaking ball swung on. It is lifted into deep left center field. This ball is going to be off the wall. Fukuda is going to play it. He fires it back in, and cruising into second base with a 2-out double is Masaki. That ball there was driven into the pole gap. It was a bit of a weird play because the left fielder that was Yoshida, he almost stopped running on the play. And Fukuda had to go into the gap, and he had to go get it off the wall. I was watching the replay. Yoshida's going at about 50% speed. Yoshida, as good a bat as he is an adventure in the outfield. Balls that get hit into left field, it's nail-biting time. So I guess you can't have it all sometimes, and definitely the fielding is certainly something that's a little bit to be desired, as is the base running as on display last inning. Well, this brings Takuya Kai to the plate. Kai was 1 for 3 in last night's ball game, and he takes a breaking ball over for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. So some odd plays right off the bat here in this one. There's some games that go on and you go through the game and you say, it's just, in cruise control. And then all of a sudden you have a couple of situations that happen and occur, and you've got to be sharp as an official. There's a fastball that misses outside. The count is 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. So a bit odd in terms of some of the events that we've had here in this one. So 1 ball and 1 strike as Miyagi holds set at the belt. He checks the runner at second. And here's the pitch. It is a breaking ball taken for a called strike, and the count is now 1-2. That's one of the knocks I would have on Miyagi when I've seen him pitch this year. He has a difficult time getting 1, 2, 3 innings. Usually when he pitches, there's somebody finds a way on base somehow. Just as a reminder, this game here, it can go as many as 12 innings. If it ends in a tie, it ends in a tie. 12 innings is the maximum in this one here. There's a fastball that just misses a little low. The count now goes to 2-2 on Takuya Kai. You can see Miyagi really wanted that pitch. It was a close pitch. I don't know if Fushimi did a great job of getting underneath the ball to present that as a better strike. So 2 balls and 2 strikes as the lefty holds in the set position. Now he kicks and delivers. There's a fastball that just misses inside, and the count goes to 3-2 on Kai. First base is open, but one would think you want to take care of the number 9 hitter. Takuya Kai on the season only hit a paltry 180. So here comes the 3-2 offering now from Miyagi. And now time has been called, and Kai steps out, takes a couple of practice swings. Miyagi goes back to the rosin bag. The other game is still 1-0 for the Tigers over the Yakult Swallows. If you're thinking of what's going on the out-of-town scoreboard, here comes the 3-2. It's a breaking ball swung on. This ball is lifted into deep center field. Moving back on it is Fukuoka. He makes the catch as he runs into the wall, and that is going to do it here. What a great play by Fukuoka. Again, the left fielder just casually getting over there to back him up. That's going to retire Kai for the third out of the inning. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 1 runner left aboard. We're through 1.5. It is a 1-1 ball game between the Buffaloes and the Hawks. We'll be back in just a couple moments, everybody. Got to go get myself another drink of water. Back after this. Welcome back, everybody. We're going to be back in another 30 seconds as we're going to give you the call at the bottom of the second inning. Hang tight. Welcome back, everybody. It is going to be the 7, 8, and 9 hitters to come to bat for the Buffaloes in the bottom of the second inning. It means Teokata, Ryo Adachi, and Tori Fushimi. You face the right-hander Yugo Bando, who is on for his second inning of work. Okada did not get the start in last night's ball game. He hit 149 on the year this year. He had a homer and 10 RBIs. And the first pitch offered here from Bando is a breaking ball that misses down for a ball, and the count is 1-0. Bando pretty much worked from the stretch position in that first inning. All but 3 of his 22 pitches came from the stretch. And here comes the offering from the young right-hander who kicks and delivers. It's a fastball swung on and grounded foul down the right field line, and the count is 1-1. So some of the people that were in here earlier in the ball game were asking about whether they took the over or the under. And as far as I'm concerned, this game here was got overwritten all over it at 5.5. Could be easy money for some guys the way that this will shape up. Here's the 1-1 pitch, and there's a fastball taken for a called strike. The count is now 1-2 to Okada. I think that both of these pitchers, Miyagi, I'd be shocked if Miyagi really lasted much more than 5 innings in this one. He just doesn't seem to have that type of stuff. There's a breaking ball that is lifted down the left field line, and they're going to watch that one sail into the seats as Yukio Shudo has made his way down the left field line, the third baseman, but only to see it slice into the stands. So 1 ball and 2 strikes it remains to Okada. Okada gets his self dug in, and he's ready to go here as the right-hander works into the windup. And now he kicks and delivers. It's a fastball swung on. It's grounded over to the right side. It's fielded by Richard. He's going to take it himself. It's going to go down as a ground out to 3 for out number 1. That'll bring up the shortstop, Ryo Adachi. I'd also be curious to see here with these two pitchers who's going to be able to put a string of 1 or 2 innings together where they can retire the side in order, keep the pitches down, keep everything light. I think of last night, Yoshinobu Yamamoto, where he retired. At one point, he had 10 in a row. You just get in that groove and you can make the innings go quick. But we saw that in the last half inning that Miyagi gets the first 2 outs and he gives up a hit. That's sort of his mantra. There's a fastball that misses down to Adachi and the count is 1-0. Adachi gets the start at shortstop tonight in the place of Kotaro Kobayashi. And there's a fastball that's taken for a called strike. Adachi showed bunt, but he pulled back and he took the strike. Adachi hit .262 on the year. He had a homer and 18 runs batted in. I was a little bit surprised. I saw him play quite a bit of second base last year that he maybe wouldn't have got the nod, but it was Nishino last night who had the opportunity to get the start. And he was on base 3 times last night through base on balls. There's a fastball swung at and fouled away. Reaches the seats over the first base dugout. So 1 ball and 2 strikes to Adachi. Right-hander against the right-hander. Bando gets his sign from Kai, and he rocks into the windup. He kicks and delivers. It's a fastball swung on. This ball is lined into right field for a base hit. And Adachi is aboard with a single, and that is going to bring up the catcher, Tori Fushimi. That first inning, the way that they ran themselves out of the inning, or at least the way that Yoshida ran the Buffaloes out of the inning, I'd like to see that may come back to haunt them. You have to wonder, you got bases loaded, and all of a sudden you run yourself out of that inning. They always say the cardinal sin is the third out at third. Well, a third out at home on that particular play might go down into the books as one of the, I would say, less smart base running maneuvers that we've seen in the season, that's for sure. Well, Fushimi did not get the start last night. He's hitting .229 on the year. He's got 3 homers and 21 RBIs. He's first at bat of the Climax series. As the righty Bando holds in the set position, and now he kicks and delivers. It's a fastball that misses upstairs for ball 1, and the count is 1-0. There were a couple of opportunities to turn double plays in the top of the inning, and the Hawks weren't quite able to do it. This is another one of those situations right now that both of these runners are not the most fleet of foot. Adachi has lost a step, not quite the runner that he was in his younger years. And Tori Fushimi, the catcher, never runs well. So here comes the 1-0 pitch. As the right-hander holds, set, and delivers. That's a check swing that is fouled off over on the first base side. The count now goes even to Fushimi at 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. The top of the order, Shuhei Fukuda will be coming up next. I have to say, Fukuda in that last inning, I like Masataka Yoshida. I like the way he swings the bat. I always call him the left-handed Alex Bregman, but boy, oh boy, he is an adventure in the outfield, to say the least. So here comes the 1-1 pitch as Bando holds set. Now he kicks and delivers. It's a breaking ball that misses upstairs, and the count is now 2-1. 2-1 to Fushimi. This game here has, last night we were talking about the tempo and the pace between the 2 starters, Ishikawa and Yamamoto, of course, until Ishikawa got himself into some trouble. But the pace of the game, just lightning quick. Here we're pushing an hour, and we're not quite done the second inning yet. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about how this one is. Sometimes when I watch the Hawks play, it has to do with their pitching and how slow they operate. Here's the 2-1 pitch. It's a breaking ball swung on. It is grounded through the 6-hole into left field. It's going to be a base hit. And Fushimi's got a board with a single. It looked like they had Adachi in motion on that as well, as he was able to pull that through the 6-hole. So now the Buffaloes have something brewing again here in the second inning. It's going to bring the top of the order up. And Shuhei Fukuda. Well, Fukuda's 1 for 1 tonight. He had that single to start the ball game. He is 1 for 5 on the series. So Fukuda, who has also been busy in the outfield making plays, is going to be striding to the bat here, ready to go. He bats from the left side. Again, it's just so slow here, the way things are operating. Our friend Michael asked the question, runners at first and second. Yeah, the runner at second is Adachi. The runner at first is Fushimi. And Fukuda is the batter at the plate. I have to go back and get my stopwatch and start timing this a little bit, just how slow that this starts to operate. Here's the pitch. It's a fastball that catches the outside corner for a called strike. And this is what I was talking about earlier, where I'm having my struggles giving you guys the calls. I thought that pitch looked outside. The whiplash from Shuhei Fukuda, you can't believe it's a strike, but the home plate umpire said it was, so it must be so. But that ball definitely looked like it was outside, but also, too, the fact that how the catcher received it. He had to flip his glove over to make that catch, and you're like, wow, how much more backhand are you going to give him? Well, there's a breaking ball swung on. This ball is looped into center field. It's going to get down for a base hit. They're going to hold the runner at third, and it's going to load the bases full of Buffaloes. Fukuda's got himself his second hit of the ball game with a single into center field. Adachi stops at third. Fushimi stops at second. And now the big guns in the lineup are coming up as Yuma Mune is going to stride to the plate with the bases loaded and only one gone. So the Buffaloes are at it again here, looking to put some more runs onto their lead. And now we've got a conference on the mound as the pitching coach has come out for Fukuoka. I wonder, it's the one thing that we don't get a good view of. When they do play in Fukuoka, you can always get the television monitors that are showing you who's warming up and who isn't. Well, you can't see that here as Moriyama, the pitching coach, is out at the mound. And he is visiting his young right-hander, but we can't tell if there's any action yet in their bullpen. So the bases are full of Hawks. The runner at third is Adachi. The runner at second, Fushimi. The runner at first is Fukuda. There's one gone here in the second inning. The youngster Bando already up to 37 pitches. So Mooney strides to the plate. Mooney bounced into a fielder's choice his first time up. He was 1 for 4 in last night's ball game. So officially now 1 for 5 in the series. So Mooney waggling the bat. Waiting on the offering here from the right-hander, Hugo Bando. So he works to the set position. And now he kicks and he fires. It's a fastball that misses down, and the count is 1-0. There's nowhere to put Mooney. He's going to have to pitch to him. So you'd like to think that he's going to get something decent at some point in this at-bat to put the ball into play. Mooney is very slow and deliberate to get himself ready. The pitcher, Bando, leans in and he gets the sign from Takuya Kai, and now he works to the set position. Now he kicks and delivers. It's a split finger pitch, swung on and missed. The count is now 1-1. I say that Bando works so slowly, they've got time for a full slow motion replay in between pitches. It is a positive. I like that about the Japanese league. They really, you can get a lot of the pitches that'll be on repeat. I'll give you that extra one. We finally got our full view of the Osaka Dome, or the Kisara Dome in Osaka. Even more empty seats tonight than there were last night. That's disappointing when your team makes the playoffs and you can't get bums in the seats. There's a fastball swung on. This ball is lifted into right center field. It may be deep enough. Coming in on it is the center fielder who makes the catch. Tagging at third and heading home. They cut it off. Here's the play at the plate, and it's in time. They're going to nail Adachi. We're going to see if they're going to go take a look at this one, but that's going to go down as it looks like it's going to be an 8-3-2 put out to retire the runner at home plate. So Mooney is gone for the second out of the inning on the fly ball out. And then Adachi hosed at the plate for the third out of the inning. And that is going to do it. That's some interesting base running yet again by the Buffaloes. It did not look like the ball was deep enough to warrant the tag and the runner to go. Well, they had no runs in the inning. They had 3 hits. There were no errors, and there were 2 runners left aboard. We are now through 2 complete. It is the Buffaloes 1 and the Hawks 1. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back after this, not for lack of trying, just for lack of bad base running. The score isn't a little bit different. We'll be right back. Welcome back, everybody. It is going to be the top of the third inning. It'll be the top of the order coming up for the Hawks. That means Masaki Momori, Yukio Shudo, and Yuki Yanagita to face the left-handed slants of Hiroya Miyagi. We did catch the replay of that last play at the plate, and actually it was closer than I thought it was. The tag from Takuya Kai was able to get the hand of the runner, Ryo Adachi, to be able to retire him for the out. There's a first pitch breaking ball that is swung on and missed. The count is 0-1 to Momori. Momori tonight began the ball game with a double, and he scored the only run for the Hawks. He is 1 for 5 on the series. So the lefty kicks and he delivers. It is a breaking ball that misses well outside, and the count is 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. Momori holds at the belt, and now he kicks and he delivers. It is a breaking ball that misses down, and the count is now 2-1. So 2 balls and 1 strike. Momori waggling the bat, waiting here on the 2-1 offering from Miyagi. And here's the pitch as he kicks and delivers. It's a breaking ball swung on. It's grounded right to the first baseman, Tio Okada, who fields it and steps on the bag. It's going to retire Momori on a ground out to 3 for out number 1. That's going to bring up the third baseman, Yukio Shudo. Well, for Shudo, he is 0 for 1 in this one. He grounded to the first baseman his first time up. Shudo batting from the left side against the lefty Miyagi, and he takes a fastball at the knees for called strike. The count is 0-1. Shudo on the series is 0 for 5, looking for his first hit. Here's the 0-1 pitch. There's a fastball that misses down and away, and the count is now 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. I just get the feeling this game here is going to be on for a while. It's just got that vibe to it. There's a breaking ball swung on. This ball is lined into right field for a base hit. And Shudo is aboard with a single with 1 gone, and that's going to bring up the right fielder, Yuki Yanagita. So when I was mentioning about the pitcher, Miyagi is still in full effect. He cannot get through the order 1, 2, 3 yet for the third time today. And his opportunities, I'm curious to see if he's going to last more than 5 innings. And if he does, is he going to get a 1, 2, 3 inning here? It's always like he's got a guy in a position where he can bury somebody. The next thing you know, they get a hit or a squibbler or whatever it is. They reach base or battle him to get a walk. It's the story of this lefty. And there's a first pitch fastball that misses off the outside corner to Yanagita for ball 1. The count is 1-0. Well, at least that's the story that I see. And I think Miyagi would be better served if he was living around the zone a little bit more. So 1 ball and no strikes to Yanagita. And he throws over to first base, and getting back safely is the runner Shudo. Never a bad decision to flip it over to see what you can get here out of Shudo. I've got Miyagi for 17 balls and 23 strikes. There's a breaking ball that is swung on and missed. The count now goes to 1-1 on Yanagita. So 17 and 23 is not necessarily something to write home about. It's a little bit below 60% strike rate as he throws over to first base, and diving back in time is the runner Shudo. Got to keep your eye on Shudo. As we said, he can run a bit between he and Mamori at the top of the order. Both of those players have got some wheels. Mamori stole 20 bases. Shudo had 22 in his favor this year. As the lefty holds at the belt. Now he kicks and delivers. It's a fastball swung on. This ball's lined down the right field line. It's into the corner. Grounding second, heading to third is Shudo. It's up with the ball is the right fielder. Here comes the throw to the plate, and it's not going to be in time. Shudo is going to get himself. He's going to score all the way from first base. It's an RBI double for Yuki Yanagita, as he is in at second safely, and the Hawks have now taken themselves a 2-1 lead here in the top of the third inning. So that is going to bring up the designated hitter, Alfredo Despania. So Despania coming to bat with the runner at second and 1 gone. And Shudo can absolutely fly around the bases. When you watch him, he's absolutely moving. The throw came into the plate. He was in time well before the throw. So Yanagita is the runner at second base. As Despania strides to the plate. Again, it's the pace of the game is just what goes on forever. I don't know what Miyagi is doing here, unless they're going to appeal to a base. He is waiting off the back of the mound, and now he comes up as the hitter Despania is wanting to go to work. Despania today is 0 for 1. He bounced into a fielder's choice, but he knocked the run in his first time up. There's a breaking ball that misses down, and the count is 1-0. Despania in the series went 1 for 4 last night. So now he's officially 1 for 5. So the lefty Miyagi. It's the sign from Fushimi, and he holds set. Now he kicks and delivers. It's a fastball that misses inside. The count is now 2-0. So 2 balls and no strikes to Despania. It is only the top of the third inning, and we are 1 hour deep into this baby. This pace here, we're probably going to be past 6 o'clock for a 9-inning game, especially when the bullpens start to come in the game. That's when the game actually slows down. There's the 2-0 pitch. This is a breaking ball that drops in for a call and strike, and the count is 2-1. I kind of cringed earlier in the day when I saw this pitching matchup. I was really nervous. I was like, if these guys stick around for a while, it's going to be a slow night at the office. So 2 balls and 1 strike to Despania as the lefty goes back to work. He kicks and fires. It's a fastball that drops in for a called strike, and the count is 2-2. Stiffened Despania straight up, and he exhaled with a lot of air coming out. I don't think he was pleased about that call. Let's say the home plate umpires had some interesting reactions tonight from the players that have been in the lineup. So 2 balls and 2 strikes to Despania. Here comes the offering from the lefty. He delivers a fastball that swung on and fouled straight back. It's going to keep the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes. So 2 balls and 2 strikes to Despania. Waiting his turn on deck is Kenta Emamiya. They've got a run in the inning with 1 gone to the Hawks. They're looking to add more as Yuki Yanagita is standing in scoring position. at second base. Pitch number 48 coming up here for the lefty Miyagi. I got to put the coffee pot back on because I'm sure I have enough time to have not just a sip of coffee, a whole swig of coffee in between these pitches. Here's the pitch. It's a fastball swung on, and the other one fouled straight back. Despania is not fooled by much. It's going to keep the count still at 2-2. And this is part of the problem. Miyagi gets the ball back. He walks off the backside of the rubber. He touches his toes. He picks up the rubber or the rosin bag, drops it down, does a stretch, and now he gets back onto the rubber. And so it's just wasting time. And here comes the 2-2 pitch now to Despania. As the lefty delivers, it's a slow breaking ball that misses down, and the count is now 3-2. So 3 balls and 2 strikes to the Fukuoka designated hitter. And then on top of it, you got the catcher who waddles around back behind the plate. As we said, it's just the tempo and the pace of this game with the Buffaloes pitcher and the pitcher for Fukuoka. If you come back at a couple hours, maybe we'll only have another inning or 2 under our belts. It's just so methodical. So here comes the 3-2 pitch. As the lefty delivers, it's a fastball swung on. This ball is lined down the left field line. It's just foul. Spania was just out and ahead of it, and that's going to keep the count at 3-2. This is turning into a marathon at bat. This is going to be the 9th pitch coming up. Our friend Kyle says 2-1. Yeah, we update the scores at the end of the half inning on the ticker. It is 2-1 right now for the Hawks. Alfredo Despania at the plate here with the runner Yanagita at second. It's a full count as the lefty here holds himself at the belt. As he kicks and delivers, there's a fastball swung on. It is grounded softly over to second. It is fielded by Nishino. He throws to first. It's going to advance the runner Yanagita over to third. It's a ground out 4-3. And that is going to bring up the shortstop Kenta Emamiya with the runner Yanagita at third and 2 gone. Well, for Kenta Emamiya, he had struck out his first time up. On the series, he is 0 for 3. He's also had a sacrifice bunt. So Yanagita establishes his lead over at third, and Yanagita gets in at the plate, waiting on the first offering here from the left-hander Miyagi. 52 pitches for Miyagi. And there's a fastball that's taken for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. As I mentioned before, if Miyagi is here past the 5th inning, I think it'll be somewhat of a miracle. And I've seen him when he's pitched. Sometimes they'll hold him off at about 80 to 85 pitches. So you got to figure that's probably another couple innings of work. So here comes the 0-1 pitch. It's a fastball that is taken for a called strike, and the count is now 0-2. Miyagi definitely didn't hit his spot. The catcher Fushimi really wanted it inside under the hands, and he left that one right out over the plate. He was very fortunate. I got our friend Shotgun Shell in here tonight. I haven't seen Shotgun in a while. Welcome. He says the total is now 7.5. I think our friend Kyle was in at 5.5 at the beginning, as was our friend Michael. There's a breaking ball that misses down and away, and the count is 1-2. I think that's, as we said at the top of the stream, that's going to be an easy over for those guys to be able to get. Don't like these 2 guys on the mound tonight for an under at that close. So 1 ball and 2 strikes it is to Kenta Emamiya. Here comes the offering from the lefty Miyagi, who delivers a fastball that misses low, and the count is now 2-2. Shotgun Shell always shows up at the right times for the right games. We are in the Climax series here, a 2-0 lead for the Buffaloes. And just as we were talking about at the top of the stream, it is a 1-0 lead is basically what Orix starts with. They were the higher seed. There's only 6 games in the series, but they start off with a 1-0 lead. They're given that. So they've got to win 3 games and it's over. The breaking ball was swung on and fouled away by Imamiya, and the count remains at 2-2. As I said, I kind of like that idea. It also helps you with your pitching. You're not having to tax your staff more than you have to. There's some positives to that. So Major League Baseball will never do it because there goes the gate receipt. Based on what we're witnessing in the Kyocera Dome in Osaka, the gate receipt doesn't matter there. There's a breaking ball that misses down, and the count now is 3-2 to Imamiya. Definitely not a full house at this one. As I said, I wanted to do a little research on yesterday's game to find out what the attendance was. I'll still try to take a look into that a little bit later on. See if I'm able to come up with the attendance, but the upper deck is definitely barren. So anything around the outfield, you've got your own personal fire escape at the Kyocera Dome if you bought a ticket for that one. Here's the pitch. It's a fastball, swung on and missed. And Imamiya goes down on strikes for the second time today. Well, there was a run in the inning on a couple of hits. There was no errors, and there was one runner left aboard. We are now through 2.5 innings. It is a 2-1 Fukuoka lead. We'll be back in just a couple moments, everybody. But the call right after this. Appreciate you guys for being here tonight. Hang tight. We know our friend Shotgun Shell's always interested in those Japanese cheerleaders. We even got another one for you coming up in a little bit. Hang tight. We'll be back in 30. Welcome back, everybody. We've got the bottom of the third inning coming up here. It's going to be Kai Nakagawa, Masataki Yoshida, and Masahiro Nishino to face the right-hander Bando. Our friend Shotgun Shell, we've got it all for you tonight. Certainly the first couple innings were some really weird plays, and I was wondering if it was a Japanese full moon is a little different than a North American full moon, because the way the base runners were running and the way the plays were being made, it looked like the full moon was in force. So Nakagawa steps to the plate. He is 0 for 1 tonight. He bounced into a fielder's choice, but he did come around and score a run. The only run of the ball game for the Buffaloes as he takes a fastball at the knees for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. Nakagawa in last night's game was 1 for 3, so he's officially 1 for 4 in the series. As Bando rocks into the motion and delivers, it's a breaking ball, actually a split finger pitch, swung on and missed, and the count is now 0-2. To Nakagawa. It's Nakagawa, Yoshida, and Nishino here in the third inning. And talking about adventurous plays, watching Masataki Yoshida play the outfield is one of those adventures. There's a fastball swung on. This ball is lined into right field. It's going to get down for a base hit in front of Yanagita. And I think Banda would want to have that one back. 2 strikes on the hitter. That was way too good a pitch. He left that pitch out over the plate, and it was Nakagawa who made him pay. I can't believe that one. That is 0-2. That's way too good of a pitch. Good piece of hitting there by Nakagawa to shorten up and go the other way. And he is aboard with a single. It's the 6th hit of the ball game so far for the Buffaloes. It's not for lack of base runners. It's once they get on the bases, it's what they've been doing. It's been killing them. Had one guy thrown out at the plate. Actually, 2 thrown out at the plate because it was Yoshida that got hosed as well. So back-to-back innings, they've had runners thrown out at home. So here comes the first offering to Masataki Yoshida. You don't see that in a month sometimes. You got it twice here in 2 innings. There's a breaking ball that misses outside for ball one, and the count is 1-0. Yoshida digs himself in. And he's waiting here on the offering as William has hit some stuff along here. We appreciate that, William. Thank you for your support. And here's the 0-1 pitch. It's a breaking ball swung on, and it's lifted foul down the left field line. And that's going to run the count to 1-1. And as they pan back, and no wonder they're getting low camera angles tonight. I got to tell you, the crowd is really sparse. Last night, at least the lower deck or the lower bowl was full pretty much all the way around. It is pretty sparse down the left field line on the lower bowl and even in the upper deck. So that's disappointing. So no balls and 2 strikes. As Masataka Yoshida is waiting here on the offering from the right-hander Bando. As he kicks and delivers, there's a fastball that misses outside, and the count is now going to be 1 ball and 2 strikes. As a reminder, we'll be back on for every game of this series. As we mentioned last night, we're going to call each and every one. They'll go off at 2 a.m. Pacific or 5 a.m. Eastern if you're in the North American time zone. So hopefully you guys can join us for those. So here comes the 1-2 pitch as the right-hander holds set. And now he kicks and delivers. It is a fastball swung on. It's grounded over to the right side, and it's going to get through the 4-hole past the diving first baseman, Richard. Sliding into third safely is Nakagawa. That's going to be the first hit of the game, the second time that Yoshida has reached base. Now they got runners on the corners. Do the Buffaloes. Something is brewing here in the 3rd inning. That's going to bring up Masahiro Nishino to the plate. So Bando's been a bit of a piñata tonight. That's the 7th hit of the ball game for the Buffaloes tonight. They've only got 1 run to show for it. And in Osaka, there's not enough people that would be there to witness it. As I say, that's a shame. You've got the team in the playoffs, and they've possibly got a good chance to go back to their back-to-back Nippon series, the Japan series title. They're going to be in a situation where they don't have fans in the stands. Crazy. One other thing about the playoff structure here is all 6 games are slated for the Kisara Dome in Osaka. So 6 home games in a row for the Buffaloes. That's what you get for winning your division. So Nishino steps to the plate. Runners on the corners. There is nobody out. We'll keep our eye for the bunt here because they will do that sometimes, but they flip over to first base, and getting back in time easily is the base runner Yoshida. So back-to-back hits here to start the inning. Finally, what Buffalo fans are in the stands, they are giving us some cheer. You'd have to wonder if the attendance is this crummy, maybe consider playing some games in Kobe. And for those of you who aren't aware, they do play some of the regular season games in Kobe because when the Orix Buffaloes, the Kintitsu Buffaloes and the Orix Blue Wave merged to become the Orix Buffaloes a few years ago, there's a breaking ball that misses up and in, and the count is 1-0. They do play some games in Kobe still as part of this franchise to keep the people there that are interested watching as well. Our friend Michael Mills says he wishes he threw more on the over. I wish. We don't quite wish yet because they get all the runners on base and they can't cash anything in. This is a golden opportunity again for the Buffaloes to do some damage. There's the fastball that swung on. This ball is lifted into center field, moving over underneath it and making the grab is Makihara. Tagging at third and heading home and scoring safely this time is Nakagawa. That's going to go down as a sacrifice fly for Nishino. He's going to get himself an RBI. And we are knotted up again at 2s. And so our friend Michael is probably on the right path with that. But you know the old saying, coulda, woulda, shoulda. Hindsight's 2020, and that is definitely the case here. So an RBI for Nishino. That's going to bring up the designated hitter, Yataro Sugimoto. While Sugimoto tonight is 1 for 1, he also has knocked in a run. He's enjoying himself a nice series here. He is 3 for 4, and he's got 3 RBIs already in just over a game plus under his belt. So here comes the first offering from the right-hander, who kicks and delivers. It's a fastball swung on. This ball is lifted into shallow center field. Coming hard on it is the center fielder, Makihara. He does a great job of being able to smother it so it doesn't bounce over him. That's going to be a base hit. That's the 3rd hit of the inning, the 8th hit of the ball game now. As Yataro Sugimoto has got himself a single, it's going to advance Yoshida over to second. That's going to bring up the first baseman, T. Okada. So some pretty interesting stuff going on here at the Kyocera Dome. And they have a conference on the mound. I wonder how much life Bando is going to have left and when we're going to start seeing the parade of bullpen arms from Fukuoka. I think they would want to have him try to finish the inning, but that looks like it's it. They're going to go to the bullpen. They've seen enough, and we've seen enough of him too. 8 hits in 2 1/3 innings. And even the fly ball that was hit to center field by Nishino was hit pretty well. They are going to the bullpen, and we'll be back in just a couple moments. I'll let you know what's happening after this. We appreciate you guys all for tuning in here with us. We'll be right back. Welcome back, everybody. It is going to be Ozeki who is coming on in relief. We saw him last night. This is Tomohisa Ozeki, the left-hander, who is coming on in relief. He's going to be facing T. Okada. And, of course, Adachi and Fushimi to come to bat after that. As we go take a look at the line on Ozeki last night, it was one that I'm sure that he would like to have forgotten. If I'm not mistaken, last night when I have the pitching change, he faced 5 hitters last night, and he walked a third one with an intentional pass, also allowed a hit, and was charged with a couple of runs. So not exactly the best outing for Ozeki, but here he is on in relief again tonight. So Tomohisa Ozeki on in relief. Of the starter, Yugo Bando. Well, he's completed his warm-up tosses. And the Buffalo fans are making some noise and are cheering again. So Okada, Adachi, and Fushimi come to bat here. Michael Mills asked the question, what do you all think about the Astros and the Mariners today? Yes, it's going to be Luis Castillo and Framber Valdez. There's a first pitch fastball taken for a called strike. The count is 0-1. I don't know what the over-under in that one is, but I'd be very hard-pressed to be taking an over. If it was 5.5 on the over, I might be staying right away from it. Probably wouldn't be considering playing the under. If it's 6.5, I think that could even be easy money. Valdez had that quality start streak this year. And of course, the pitcher Castillo, since he's come over from the Reds, has been lights out for the Mariners. There's a breaking ball that misses down, and the count's now 1-1 to Okada. So the runner at first is Sugimoto. The runner at second is Yoshida. It's 1 ball and 1 strike to T. Okada. We sometimes get a very festive crowd. It's a quiet crowd or quieter crowd in here tonight, Michael. So usually the weekend crowd is where it's at, or even the early crowd, but it's going to be all start times at this time, 2 a.m. Pacific or the other one as well. And here's the pitch. It is a breaking ball that is swung on and fouled away. The count is now 1-2. Our friend Mr. Rono777 asks, says the current over-under line is 7.5. It's been moving on the money line. How are the bullpens for these two teams? Well, the Hawks won't be using their better arms, one would think, because they're trailing, or actually right now it's 2-2, but if they start to where they're trailing, you're going to see that they're probably going to have a similar pattern like last night. You're not going to get the good bullpen arms. But if they get the lead, it could be lights out. So I would say once you get past the 5th inning, it will dictate what kind of arms they're going to start rolling out there to try to finish off the victory. So 1 ball and 2 strikes to Okada. The lefty holds at the belt. And here's the pitch. It is a fastball swung on. It's grounded over to second. They throw to second for the fielder's choice, but they're not going to get the backside out as Okada was able to leg it out. Safe over at third is Yoshida. That's going to put runners on the corners on the fielder's choice. 4-6, Sugimoto is retired for out number 2. And that's going to leave all up to the shortstop, Ryo Adachi. Our friend Michael Mills says he loves betting the KBO overs because their bullpens are trash. Yeah, the KBO is kind of hard to watch at times. Pitching quality is not as good as what you find in the NPB, that is for sure. So that brings Adachi to the plate. He is 1 for 1 tonight. He had a single his last time up. So he bats here with 2 gone in the 3rd inning, and runners are on the corners. As he waggles the bat, Ozeki leans in. He gets the sign from Takuya Kai. And here comes the first pitch. It's a fastball swung on. It is popped up on the infield. It's playable. And moving over underneath it is Richard, and he makes the catch. That is going to do it again. Opportunities lost for the Buffaloes, pounding out the hits like crazy, only able to get 1 run. There was 1 run in the inning on a pair of hits. I'm just going back and taking a peek at that, or did he have a second one as well? Sorry, there was 1 run on 3 hits in the inning. And we had no errors, and there were 2 runners left aboard. 6 runners left on base so far for the Buffaloes in this one. We're now through 3 complete. We're all locked up at 2. We'll be back in just a couple of moments. 2-2, Buffaloes and the Hawks. Welcome back, everybody. It is going to be the 6, 7, and 8 hitters to come to bat for the Hawks in the top of the 4th. That means Makihara, Richard, and Masaki to face the left-hander Miyagi, who is coming out for his 4th inning of work. So the bullpen is already going to be taxed now for the Hawks. We were looking yesterday, and we were talking about the bullpens. Yesterday, they used 5 pitchers out of the pen, did the Hawks. And so Ozeki was one of them. I'd be curious to see what their pattern will be tonight. It looks like he's coming back for yet another inning of work. There's a first pitch breaking ball that misses down to Makihara for ball one. The count is 1-0. Makihara tonight is 0 for 1. He popped to third his first time up. He is 1 for 5 on the series. And there's a fastball that misses down and away, and the count is now 2-0. So 2 balls and no strikes. Yeah, that's the pulse right there. Our friend Mr. Rono says the starter for the Hawks had given up 10 hits. I don't know if it was 10. I've got him for 8 in my book, but I have to go back and take a look at it there. I've got him for 2 in the first, 3 in the second, and 3 in the third. As there is a fastball that's delivered, and it was swung on and missed by Makihara, and the count is now 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes to Makihara as the lefty now kicks and delivers. It is a breaking ball swung on and missed. Makihara goes down on strikes for the first out of the inning. That is going to be a strikeout number 3 in the books by my book. Check that, number 4 in the books by my book for Miyagi. And they do have some action starting in the Buffalo's bullpen. They've got somebody down there stretching out. So, as I mentioned before, I don't see Miyagi being around for a long time in this game. 63 pitches right now for the left-hander. Here comes the pitch. There's a fastball that is taken for a called third strike. The count is 0-1 to Richard. Richard 0 for 1 tonight. And as well in the series, he struck out his first time up. So here's the pitch. It is a slow breaking ball that just misses. The count is now 1-1. So curious, maybe they take Miyagi out a little bit earlier. They don't want him to see the order for the third time. We'll have to wait and see on this one. When the lefty delivers a breaking ball that is waved at and missed, the count is 1-2. I've seen Richard. I saw him make his debut. It was last year. We got the hobbyist in the house. You can stop in here this morning. I wonder if you're having bacon and eggs there, hobbyist. As there's a breaking ball that misses down. The count is 2-2. If not, you got to get your daughters a little bit older so they can make you some bacon and eggs before you're going to have to work. Here's the 2-2 pitch. It's a breaking ball that misses down, and the count's now 3-2. 3 balls and 2 strikes. We're burning the candle at both ends right now. We've got this game in the middle of the night. We've got a lot of stuff going on in the daytime, which I'm going to have to try to flip around a little bit. There's a fastball taken for a called third strike. Richard stood there like the house by the side of the road and watched it go by for out number 2. That's the second time tonight he's been erased via the strikeout. And that's going to bring up Tomoya Masaki to the plate. Obvious says, no, he didn't eat breakfast until 9. 9 years old or 9 in the morning, we're not sure. So Tomoya Masaki, who steps to the plate, he is 1 for 1 tonight. He doubled his first time up. He takes a breaking ball down for a ball, and the count is 1-0. So we were talking about the need for a 1-2-3 inning for the lefty Miyagi, and he's looking like he's on pace for it right now. There's a fastball that misses down, and the count is now 2-0. Well, I say that, and we're already at 2 balls and no strikes to Masaki. As the lefty is ready to deliver again. Here's the pitch. It is a breaking ball that's taken for a called strike. The count is 2-1. That's one of those pitches I got to hang in on because it sure didn't look to me like it was a strike. That whole home plate umpire really delayed on his call. So here's the 2-1 as he delivers another breaking ball, and this one's definitely a called strike, and the count is now 2-2 to Masaki. So Miyagi finding the strikes after falling behind at 2-0. Here comes the offering as he's picked up his pace on the mound. He kicks and he delivers. It's a fastball that misses at the knees inside. The count is now 3-2. So is he going to get himself a clean 1-2-3 inning? Well, we're about to find out right now. The payoff pitch is ready to come as Miyagi kicks and he fires. It is a breaking ball swung on and missed. And that is going to retire Masaki. He has struck out the side, did Miyagi. 1-2-3 in order here. There were no runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left the board. We are now moving to the bottom of the fourth inning, and we are locked up at 2s. Hang tight, everybody. We'll be back in just a couple. Our friend Shotgun Shell is still with us. We got another one for him with our cheerleaders. Welcome back, everybody. It is going to be the 9, 1, and 2 hitters to come to bat for the Buffaloes in their half of the fourth inning. Means Tori Fushimi, and then the top of the order is Shuhei Fukuda and Yuma Mune. They are going to be facing the lefty Tomohisa Ozaki, who is going to be coming back out to begin his second inning of work. So Fushimi, who singled, was stranded at second his first time up. As we were saying before at the beginning, our friend Michael Mills, and there were a couple other folks that jumped in, and I said that 5.5 on the over in this game. It looked like money in the bank. The two pitchers who were throwing, there was a fastball taken for a called strike. The count is 0-1. We have another friend of the channel, Breathe Deep, comes in sometimes. He was one of those ones who sent me a message earlier and said, hey, what you got? And I said, I got Orix, and I got the over on this one. There's a breaking ball swung on, it missed. And the count is now 0-2. I think Orix is going to get the victory here. That'll put them up in a stranglehold position in the series at 3-0. If they can do that here tonight. So no balls and 2 strikes. As the lefty rocks into the delivery, Ozeki kicks and fires. It's a breaking ball that misses down, and the count's now 1-2. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. I'm going to have to get up and do a couple of laps in the in-between here, as well, as it's been a long day, and we'll probably put it on loop after the 5th inning. Normally we have that extended break after the 5th, like they call it the Japanese halftime, where they clean the field. And here's the pitch. It is a fastball that misses outside. The count is now 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. Ozeki gets his sign from his catcher, and now he rocks into the windup. He kicks and delivers. It is a breaking ball swung on. It is grounded to the third baseman, Shudo, who fires across the diamond. That's going to retire Fushimi on a ground out, 5-3. So 1 up and 1 away, and that'll bring up the top of the order in Shuhei Fukuda. So just as Miyagi has not had as Miyagi finally had a clean inning because he struck out the side in the last half, so too the Hawks have not had a clean inning tonight. So it'll be interesting to see if Ozeki can settle it down here a little bit. Our friend Mr. Rono asked the question if I saw the NL games today. As here's the pitch. It is a fastball that misses down and away, and the count is 1-0. Actually, no, I didn't. I didn't catch anything today other than the stuff. I don't know if the win was an upset. I actually felt that the Padres were going to win when we put out our little short videos. Our hints are these songs, and it's usually from the city or somebody from that area. And I felt that Darvish was going to do some damage today. There's a fastball swung on and fouled away. The count is now 1-1 to Fukuda. Fukuoka has had 2 hits in both of his trips to the plate. After going 0 for 4 last night, he's 2 for 2 here. There's a fastball swung on. This ball is lifted into left field. And moving over and making the catch is Masaki. That's going to retire Fukuoka. He's gone for the second out of the inning. And that is going to leave it up to the third baseman, Yumamune. I was actually out of town today. I went over, took the ferry across to the Sunshine Coast. Met up with some folks over there and made my way back on the late ferry. So I did not get a chance to really get much sleep in yesterday. And we're hoping this game does not go extra innings, and I'll be able to get to the field here for 7 a.m. There's the first pitch fastball swung on. This ball is lifted into left center field. Racing hard and diving is the center fielder. I don't think he's been able to make the play, and that is the case as that ball was trapped. Yumamune's got himself a single, as now that's his first hit of the ball game. That's going to be the 9th hit of the game for the Buffaloes. And that is going to bring up the right fielder, Kai Nakagawa. What a great effort by the center fielder, Taisi Makihara. And also even a better effort today as he was diving and realized he couldn't make the play. He trapped the ball. Shotgun Shell said he had San Diego at plus 175. Yeah, I thought today that was going to be their chance. And now they come back to San Diego all tied up at ones. They got to take care of business there in front of their home crowd. So Zeki ready to go to work here with 2 gone and a runner at first. And he throws over to first, and diving back is Mune. Yumamune, the runner at first with 2 out. Kai Nakagawa at the plate. Nakagawa has breached base both times. He bounced into a fielder's choice his first time up, and then he singled. He has scored both of the runs so far today for the Buffaloes. And again, the lefty throws over to first, and getting back easily is Yumamune. So Nakagawa in this series is 2 for 5. As we said, reached base today on the fielder's choice and the single, cashing in both times. And here's the offering. It is a breaking ball that is swung on and missed. The count is 0-1. So no balls and 1 strike to Nakagawa. We're talking about the slow pace of this game. We're nearly at the hour. We're at the hour and 40-minute mark, and we are still in the bottom of the 4th inning. So I just have that feeling that it's probably going to be 6 o'clock. This game's going to go into 4 hours or pretty close to it, even if it doesn't go extra innings. The way in which the pitchers are working, the way in which the hitters have been getting on base or finding ways on base when there's been 2 out, extending the innings. So here comes the 0-1 pitch, but again, Ozeki gives a token toss over to first base. Getting back in time as the base runner, Mune, just standing up this time. I think if I'm Mune, I'm not going in motion here. I just don't see the value to it. But we'll see what happens here. We'll see what the Buffaloes have in mind. No balls and 1 strike. And here's the pitch. It is a breaking ball swung on. It's grounded softly to short. It is fielded by Imamiya. He throws over to second. That is going to retire Nakagawa Mune on a fielder's choice. 6-4 for the 3rd out of the inning. And that will do it here for the Buffaloes in their half of the inning. Well, they had no runs. There was a hit. There were no errors, and there was 1 runner left aboard. We are now through 4 complete. We are locked up at 2s. We'll be back in just a couple moments with the call at the top of the 5th inning after this. Thanks for stopping in with us tonight, everybody. We always appreciate it. Welcome back, everybody. Miyagi has completed his warm-up tosses, and we're ready to resume the action. It's the 9-1-2 hitters to come to bat for the Fukuoka SoftBank Hawks in their half of the fifth inning. It'll be Kai, Mamori, and Shudo to get things going here against the lefty Miyagi. Miyagi has now retired 5 in a row. As we were talking about him having a opportunity to have to struggle to settle down. Everybody in each inning, they were able to get a runner on base in those first 3 innings. There's a fastball that was missed, and then it is a breaking ball swung on and grounded foul. The count is 1-1, so we missed the first pitch fastball that was there, and then the foul ball. So 1 ball and 1 strike to Takuya Kai. Kai tonight 0 for 1. He is 1 for 4 in the series. Batting in the 9 spot. Here comes the pitch. It's a breaking ball that's dropping in for a called strike. I'm not so sure about that one, especially Takuya Kai. That pitch there looked like it was off the corner and low, but Kai didn't get the benefit of the doubt. I'm sure there'll be some interesting conversations between the catcher and the home plate umpire when he gets his opportunity. So here's the 1-2. It's a fastball swung on. It's grounded down the third base line. Throwing from his knees is Mune. The ball is not going to be in time. A great play by Mune to dive, and then he threw off his knees. Takuya Kai, not the fleetest of foot, was still able to beat it out. That'll go down as an infield single. We'll watch that one again. That ball was hit down the third baseline. It looked like it had trickled. It hit the base and changed direction. Mune threw it from his knees. It was a ground ball to the first baseman, and it is going to be a little bit offline, and that allows Takuya Kai to be safe. So Takuya Kai is aboard with a leadoff single. That's going to bring up the top of the order in Masaki Mamori. Well, Mamori tonight 1 for 2. He's got a double and he scored a run. And then he had a ground out to the first baseman his other trip. And Mamori is already squaring to bunt. This is interesting here. He drops it down. It is fielded by the pitcher. He fires to first, and it's going to be in time. Nice job. I'm a little concerned with Takuya Kai and the way he runs, but Kai is now in scoring position at second base. It's going to be as a sacrifice. And then he's going to be a 1-4. If you're keeping score along with us, as that is going to retire Mamori for the first out of the inning. That's going to bring up Yukio Shudo. Well, for Shudo tonight, he is 1 for 2. He singled and scored a run his last time up. He also has grounded out to first base. So left-hander against the left-hander. The runner is in scoring position. That's Takuya Kai. And here's the pitch. It is a breaking ball swung on and fouled away, and the count is 0-1 to Shudo. So no balls and 1 strike. Shudo waggles the bat, waiting here on the offering from the lefty Miyagi. And here comes the pitch. It is a fastball that misses outside, and the count is now 1-1. As we said, after the bottom of the 5th inning, we're going to take our little break. We're going to get up and go for a little stroll around and get some fresh water and try to bring the back end of this one home for you. We're approaching the 2-hour mark. We are only in the 5th inning. And the 1-1 pitch is a fastball that misses upstairs, and the count is now 2-1 to Shudo. Shudo in the series is 1 for 6, as he had that single and scored a run his last time up. That was the second run of the ball game by the Hawks. Left-hander against the left-hander, as Miyagi gets his sign from his catcher. And here's the pitch. It is a breaking ball swung on, is lifted into shallow right field. Moving in on it is the right fielder. That's going to be Nakagawa, who makes the catch, and that's going to retire Shudo for the second out of the inning. That's going to leave it all up to the right fielder, Yuki Yanagita. Well, for Yanagita tonight, he doubled home a run his last time up. He's also walked. He's been aboard twice. So they do have an open base here. So interesting to see what they're going to do here, if they're going to put him on maybe to set up the force. But it is a lefty-lefty matchup, so it looks like they're going to stay with it. So 2 gone, and the runner at second is Takuya Kai. It's a good thing they put replay in the corner, because I thought, boy, I missed something here with Yanagita running. So here comes the first offering to Yanagita. It's a fastball that misses down and in for ball 1, and the count is 1-0. So 1 ball and no strikes. Yanagita was the star of the series against the Saitama Cebu Lions. He drove in 7 runs in the 2 games, including a 3-run homer and a grand slam. There's a fastball swung on and missed. He looked like he was wanting to try to deposit that into the seats. The count is 1-1. Yanagita, as we talked about in the last couple of streams when we've done the Hawks, he's in the back end of the part of his career. He's 34 years old. As here comes the 1-1 pitch. As it is a breaking ball swung on, and it's lifted foul down the left field line. And the count is 1 ball and 2 strikes. I think Yanagita in his prime would have been a nice player to have played in Major League Baseball, but never came across Fukuoka. He was a big part of their championship run. Sometimes the players that are in Japan don't really care if they leave or not. I wonder where Yanagita sat in that mix. So here comes the 1-2 pitch as the lefty is ready to go. Now he kicks and delivers. It's a breaking ball, waved at and missed. And Yanagita has gone on strikes for out number 3. And that is going to do it here. The Hawks, they threaten, but they don't score. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 1 runner left aboard. We're now through 4.5 innings. It is a 2-2 ball game. We'll be back in just a couple with the call of the bottom of the 5th inning. Appreciate you guys for being here and listening in. We'll be right back after this.
Let's go. Yo, I'm like an addict, do I gotta have it. I ain't even playing, got a really bad habit. If it moves, gotta grab it, fuse like a magnet. Lose, won't have it till I'm doomed in a casket. I ain't playing, got a weird mind. If you work 8 hours, I'ma work 9. If the shoot tastes sour, you should taste mine. I'ma stay in power for a long time. Get up, nah, I ain't a quitter. Toss me the ball, I'm a really big hitter. Big picture, I'm a straight killer. Rising the song to the highest bidder. Got juice, got gas, I'ma move fast. New shoes, new tracks, like who's that? I'm new, come back, better than last. Yeah, it's a new me, never gonna...
Welcome back, everybody. It's going to be the heart of the batting order coming up for the Buffaloes here in the 5th inning. It means it's going to be Masataki Yoshida, Masahiro Nishino, and Yataro Sugimoto to come to bat to face the lefty Tomohisa Ozeki, who is coming back out for his 3rd inning of work. So Yoshida, Nishino, and Sugimoto. And if you ask me my opinion here, I think that the pitching of Ozeki has been pretty good so far. And he has definitely been on more better song than he was last night. That is for sure. And I wonder what they're going to run him out for pitch-wise. He had started quite a few games for the Hawks this year. We're just waiting on what they do with him. But they were saying that there was a lot of pieces. Now we'll see what happens here. Let's see what we got. We've got Yoshida, Nishino, and Sugimoto. Yoshida tonight, as he strides to the plate, is 1 for 1. He was hit by a pitch his first time up, and he singled his last time. He was thrown out at the plate in the 1st inning as he tried to score from second base on an infield single. And you heard that right. There's the first pitch fastball taken for a called strike, and the count is 0-1 to Yoshida. He tried to get Kenta Imamiya napping, and Imamiya ended up getting the ball and firing him out at the plate. That was how that one worked. Here's the pitch. It is a fastball, swung on and missed. The count is now 0-2 to Yoshida. Yoshida a little bit behind on that pitch. So no balls and 2 strikes. The lefty-lefty matchup as Ozeki rocks into the windup and delivers. It's a fastball swung on and fouled away. The count remains at no balls and 2 strikes. One of the more dangerous hitters in the Pacific League is Yoshida. As we said, he finished second in the batting average tallies, but he also has juice in the bat. He can hit some home runs. He was in the top 10 in that category. And there's a fastball swung on it, is lined through the 6-hole into left field. And Yoshida is on with a base hit. He's a wizard with the bat in his hand, but he is a butcher with the glove. That is a single. That's his second hit of the game. Third time he's been on base. He's now 4 for 6 in the series. It was one of those kind of excuse me swings. Nice job of protecting the plate, though. You got to tip your hat to him. And Ozeki kind of like, geez, I just threw him my best pitch, and he just takes it the other way and gets aboard with a hit. Well, here we go. Here comes the first offering now to Nishino. As he's waiting here on the pitch from Ozeki. He kicks and instead he throws over to first base, and getting back in time is the runner Yoshida. Curious to see. I think they do that because they want to see if he's going to square to bunt. It's almost like they do that intentionally, and they do have Takuya Kai up in front of the plate flashing some bunt defense signals to his defense. It is Yutaro Sugimoto who waits his turn on deck. I wouldn't not be surprised here if Nishino squares to bunt. The lefty holds set at the belt, and he does square, and the pitch is up and in, and he bunts it foul. Nishino ends up on his back. I don't know why he ended up doing the pirouette and then ending up on his back like that. The pitch was really shoulder high. He just couldn't get it down. So no balls and 1 strike. Keep our eye here to see if they've got any type of back pick or any type of throwdown planned here. So no balls and 1 strike. I know Takuya Kai does like to throw the ball around a little bit. There's Ozeki giving a token toss over to first. Easily getting back is Yoshida. We are going to call the game, as we said, again tomorrow night, so bookmark the channel. We'll give you the next game in the series, Game 3. There's a long way to go in this one here for an outcome. We'll still be calling, I'm sure, another couple hours. Oh, boy. There's a fastball that misses upstairs, and the count is now 1 ball and 1 strike to Nishino. The brass of the Buffaloes are looking on from the dugout. As we said, there's just a lot of slow play in this game, and you talk about the pitch clocks coming in Major League Baseball, and you kind of say, why is this happening? Well, in this particular instance here, you can see why it needs to be put in maybe in the Japanese league. Again, they throw over to first base. Again, getting back in time is the base runner. I think you're going to need to load up with a little bit of beverages that might have an extra shot in them. You're having to call the games with the Hawks. We've talked about the Hawks this year. Hawks are the version of the Hanshin Tigers in the other league. I can only imagine if if Hanshin and Fukuoka got to the Japan series, how long that game would take. There's a bunt that's dropped down. It's right back to the pitcher Ozeki, but his only play is going to be to first. Yoshida makes it in safely into second base. It's going to go as a sacrifice 1-4 for the first out of the inning, and that will bring up the designated hitter, Yutaro Sugimoto. And for those of you who are in the first five, I'm not sure what the first five over-under would be. Obviously, the game over-under is at 5.5, but Sugimoto stepping to the plate. A chance here to be able to cash in another run. Sugimoto today is officially, I've got him in my book at 2 for 2. He's on both singles. He does have an RBI. I've got him at 4 for 5 in the series. So here comes the offering here from the left-hander Ozeki. He delivers. It's a fastball swung on. This ball is belted to deep left field. Moving back onto the warning track, looking up, and this one is gone. A home run into the tunnel, and it is going to increase. It's going to put the lead at 4-2 for the Buffaloes. A 2-run homer by Sugimoto, his third hit of the ball game. A no-doubter into the mid-deck at the Kyocera Dome. It went down the hallway, out onto the concourse, probably looking to go for some food. But that is going to score both Yoshida and Sugimoto, and the score now is a 4-2 ball game for the Buffaloes. Well, that's going to bring T. Okada to the plate with one out. 4-2 Buffaloes in the lead here. There's your over in the over-under. I know some of our guys that were in here earlier had played at the early part of the game and had the 5.5. Well, there you go. You don't have to worry about that. That's some easy money. And so here we go. Here comes the offering from Ozeki, who rocks into the motion and delivers. There's a breaking ball that misses down. And the count is 1-0. So 1 ball and no strikes. Have a series, Sugimoto. He is absolutely on fire. It's that 5 for 6. Now he's got the homer, a couple RBIs. It's good for that big fella to get going because they're going to need him if they want to get to that Japan series. There is a breaking ball that's taken for a called strike. The count now is 1-1 on Okada. So 1 ball and 1 strike. Lefty Ozeki continues to work here. I wouldn't be surprised that they roll him out for another. This is pitch number 27 from him. There's a breaking ball that has swung on and missed. The count is now 1 ball and 2 strikes. I mean, why not? Ozeki has pitched fairly well, other than the 2-run homer he's just given up. Might as well keep him in there for another inning. Here's the 0-1 pitch. There's a fastball that just misses off the outside corner. Count goes to 2-2. That's a veteran call right there, my friends. That looked like a pretty darn good pitch. So 2 balls and 2 strikes as the lefty Ozeki kicks and delivers. It's a breaking ball swung on and fouled away. The count remains at 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes to Sugimoto. Or check that to Okada as Ryodachi waits his turn on deck. Sugimoto, the 3-hit night tonight. Pretty impressive. And here's the offering from the lefty who delivers. It's a breaking ball that misses down and away. The count is now 3-2. So 3 balls and 2 strikes to T. Okada. As the lefty gets his sign from his catcher and he's ready to work into the windup, but now he steps off the backside and he's going to clear the pitching plate, grab the rosin bag, and trying to get at it again. As we said, this game has got the delays like crazy. There's a breaking ball swung on. It's grounded over to first. They flip it to the pitcher covering. And that is going to retire Okada. It's going to go down as a ground out, 3-1 for the second out of the inning. It's going to leave it up to the shortstop, Ryodachi. Get the replay of that Sugimoto home run, and it was no doubt about it. As soon as it left the bat, ended up going down the hallway and into the concourse. So Adachi steps to the plate. He is officially 1 for 2 tonight. He's got a single and 2 trips. He was stranded at third base back in the... Actually, he was one of the guys hosed out at the plate in that second inning. I believe he was the third out at the plate. It was back-to-back innings. They had guys gun down at the plate as he takes a breaking ball for a strike. And now Ozeki delivers again, and that's a breaking ball that misses down, and the count's now 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike to the right-handed hitting Ryo Adachi. And here's the 1-1 pitch. That's a breaking ball that drops in for a called strike. The count is now 1-2. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. The bottom of the 5th inning is just about to wrap up here as there's 2 strikes to the hitter. He's down to his final strike. Here's the 1-2 pitch. It's a breaking ball that misses down. The count is now 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. As mentioned, we're going to put the song on loop as we take a time out to go to the bathroom. And it'll be the 5th inning here and a drink. There's a breaking ball swung on. It's tapped back to the pitcher who fields it. He throws to first. And that is going to retire Adachi on a ground out 1-3 for the 3rd out of the inning. Well, that is going to do it. There was damage and damage done. 2 runs on 2 hits, no errors, nobody left the board. You're now through 5 complete innings. It is a 4-2 lead for the Buffaloes. Hang tight, everybody. We'll be back in just a few minutes. As I said, we're going to put this on the delay. We're on the loop. And we will let it run for a little bit, and hopefully you guys will be with us when we get back. Hang tight, everybody. We'll see you in a few. Welcome back, everybody. We are going to be going to the top of the 6th inning in just a moment here, and we have ourselves a 4-2 ball game. It is still what we like to call the Japanese halftime. They've got their dancers out. They are putting on a show, and they are fixing the field. So we'll be back in about 30 seconds. As well, they'll be resuming the action in just a few. Hang tight. Welcome back, everybody. It is going to be the top of the sixth inning in a few moments coming up. We're just still working through this. We'll give you a little recap right now. The scoring so far in this one. The Hawks opened the scoring in the first inning. It was a leadoff double by Masaki Momori. And then he was brought home on a fielder's choice by Alfredo Despania. That put the score up on a 1-0 lead for the Hawks. The Buffaloes responded in their bottom of the first inning, a leadoff single by Fukuda. He was raced on a fielder's choice by Yumamune. And then Nakagawa reached on a fielder's choice, which raced Mune. Then Masataka Yoshida was hit by a pitch. And then Masahiro Nishino struck out but reached on a wild pitch, a really bizarre inning. And then Yutaro Sugimoto singled on a ground ball to the shortstop. And that was able to score Nakagawa, but Masataka Yoshida, as the ball squirted away, trying to score all the way from the second base position, he got gunned out by quite a bit. That was how that inning ended. So that was where we were at with 1-1. The Hawks then added a run in the third inning. It was a one-out single by Shudo, and a double by Yanagita brought Shudo all the way around from first base, and they went up 2-1. Well, again, the bottom of the third inning, the Buffaloes responded again. A leadoff single by Nakagawa, then Yoshida singled, and it was a sac fly by Masahiro Nishino to drive in the second run for the Buffaloes. And then it was in the fifth inning, a leadoff single by Yoshida. He was sacked over to second, and then Sugimoto hit a two-run homer. And that is where we stand. Well, we do have a pitching change now for the Buffaloes, as it is going to be Utagawa coming into the ball game, as he is going to be taking over here for the starter Miyagi. You could tell that Miyagi wasn't going to be around very long. That's just kind of the way he operates. He's just not quite that stuff to be able to take him into the sixth inning. As I said, I would have been shocked if he would have gone more than six. So this is going to be Yuki Utagawa on the hill. He is taking over here in the top of the sixth inning. And the first pitch is a fastball that misses inside for ball one to Despania. So coming to bat, it's the heart of the order, Despania, Imamiya, and Makihara. So 1 ball and no strikes. We've seen Utagawa pitch a little bit this year, and he's been very good at times. And then there's been some other couple of times where he's one time he actually imploded. There's a ground ball hit to the shortstop, and it is going to be deep in the sixth hole. They throw over to first, and it is not going to be in time. Alfredo Despania really hustling down the line. And that is going to go down. It looks like it's going down as it's not going to be a base hit. We'll have to see that one again. I think that's exactly what it'll be. Yep. And that was a play by the shortstop. No juggling there. He threw it on one hop over to the first base. They made the play. It's just that everything was a little bit on the behind side. So Despania's got himself a leadoff single, and that is going to bring up the shortstop, Kenta Imamiya. I wouldn't be surprised, even down by 2, that Imamiya wouldn't be bunting. Trying to catch that run, get that run back. So here comes the first offering from the righty, and it is a fastball that misses down for ball one. The count is 1-0. Imamiya 0 for 4 on the series, 0 for 2 today. For Kenta Imamiya, he has struck out all 4 times. He's also got a sacrifice bunt in these 2 games. So here comes the 1-0 pitch. And there's a fastball swung on and fouled away, and the count is going to remain at 1-1. This pitcher, Utagawa, he is 23 years old. He'll be 24 in less than a month's time. It'll be November the 10th he will be turning. He was originally the 3rd place player picked in the 2020 development draft. You can see he's a bit of a project, but a project in a good way. There's a breaking ball taken for a called strike. The count is now 1-2. I wouldn't be surprised that they're going to challenge him straight up with some good old-fashioned heat this time. So 1 ball and 2 strikes to Imamiya. Right-hander Utagawa holds to the set, and he delivers. It's a split-finger pitch and misses down. Counts 2-2. He's not really concerned about the runner Despania at first base. Despania does not particularly run very well. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. Odogawa getting his sign from his catcher, Fushimi, and he's ready to go back at it. And he pitches a fastball that misses down, and the count's now 3-2. This would be the one concern I'd have with Odogawa is he going to implode in this situation? He pitched fairly well this year, but as I said, I saw him one game that he just fell apart. So right-hander here against the right-hander. Here comes the 3-2 offering. As he kicks and delivers, it's a fastball swung on, and it's pop foul. It's going to reach the seats right behind home plate. Keeps the count at 3 balls and 2 strikes to Emamiya. It's a 4-2 Buffalo lead here in the 6th inning. They're doing their part in this one. So Odogawa checks the sign from his catcher, and now he works into the set position. He kicks and delivers. It's a fastball that misses down. That's going to be ball 4. That's going to put runners at first and second. Emamiya is aboard with a walk. That is going to bring up the center fielder, Taisi Makihara. It's also going to bring Fushimi out to the mound, as is the pitching coach. So they're coming out to see what's going on. It's going to be a fuel check time. I know we've had some folks in here earlier who's got the trashier bullpens. Usually the Buffaloes have been decent this year. The Hawks, I definitely like their bullpen. Obviously, the Saitama Cebu Lions was pretty good for most of the year in the Pacific League. So here we go. The young fella gets the encouragement from Yumamune, who gives him a pat on the arm and on the shoulder. Difficult position to be in. Young pitcher here. You do have the lead. So this is going to bring to the plate Taisi Makihara, who is 0 for 2 today. Makihara has struck out, and he has popped out to the third baseman. And here comes the pitch. It is a breaking ball that misses down and away. The count is 1-0. So 1 ball and no strikes. There is scoring updates from the Jinju Stadium. It is now 3-1 in the bottom of the 4th inning as the Swallows have the lead over the Tigers. That game is significantly behind ours. I don't know why that is dragging on. I think there's rain in the area. There's a fastball. It's taken for a called strike, and the count now goes to 1-1 on Makihara. So this would be a huge strikeout here if you could put Makihara way up via strikes. So 1 ball and 1 strike to Makihara. And here's the pitch. It's a fastball that comes under the hands, and the count is now 2-1. So 2 balls and 1 strike. This game here, as I said before, and I appreciate everybody who's hanging in here with me, this is going to be one of the more challenging games to call. Just the pace and how everything is just so slow. Can't wait till Kodai Senga gets on the mound for Fukuoka. There's a fastball swung on. This ball is lifted into deep left field. Moving back on it and making the catch is Yoshida. And that is going to retire Makihara for the first out of the inning. Yoshida had to go back on the ball, and then he was backpedaling. Was able to haul that one in as that retires Makihara for the first out. So runners at first and second, 1 gone. That brings up it's slated to bring up Richard Sunagawa to the plate. Let's see if that is exactly who is hitting or if they're going to be going to a pinch hitter here. And we are going to have a pinch hitter. So we'll check that out. It looks like it is Nakamura. I'll check that out here for you in a moment. And that is, first pitch is a breaking ball that drops in for a called strike. And it is Akira Nakamura. Nakamura appeared in last night's game. Where is our friend Nakamura? Nakamura last night had 2 hits in 3 trips to the plate. He was 2 for 3. So here's the pitch. It's a fastball that misses away, and the count is now 1 ball and 1 strike. So Richard got his opportunity, and he didn't make the most of it. So 1 ball and 1 strike to Nakamura as the righty Utagawa kicks and delivers. It's a fastball that misses upstairs, and the count is now 2-1. So 2 balls and 1 strike. That's what your reward is for getting 2 hits last night. You get to start on the bench. I don't know why that is. That's where I'd want to be doing the interviews with the managers after the game and trying to figure out what the process would be for leaving a guy who had 2 hits the night before off. Maybe it was because he started a lefty, which would be the case. There's a fastball swung on. This ball is lifted into deep left field. Coming in on it is Yoshida. He's going to make the catch. That's going to put away Nakamura. So back-to-back fly balls to the left fielder. I've now put 2 outs in the inning, and that's going to leave it all up to the left fielder, Tomoya Masaki. And it also brings the second baseman Nishino in to talk to Utagawa. Gives him a pat on the back, and now he's ready to go again. Masaki, in this one, is 1 for 2. He's got a double and a strikeout in his 2 trips to the plate. And yet we have another pinch hitter here. It's going to be Erizabel Graciel, who's coming in to hit for Masaki. So let's see what we got here. The first pitch to Graciel is a fastball that misses down for ball 1. The count is 1-0. Looks like they're giving some of the starters from last night a break, although Graciel is appearing in this one here. He had a single as a pinch hitter last night in the series. It was in the 8th inning when he came on to hit for Takuya Kai. There's the pitch. It is a fastball swung on and missed. The count is now 1-1. So it can't be any worse. Probably thinking about giving him a run out here into the outfield. Letting him go and play here. So 1 ball and 1 strike. The crowd is making their noise. And here comes the 1-1 offering. It's a fastball swung on and missed, and the count now goes to 1-2. So 1 ball and 2 strikes to Graciel. As we said, we got some pauses on the in-between here. It's just the length of time it takes. Graciel steps out. He takes his practice swings. He's slow to settle into the box. The pitcher, Utagawa, wasting time on the mound. I've seen the Hanshin Tiger bullpen do this when we called some of their games in the past. Really, really slow to work. Here's the 1-2. It's a fastball that misses down and away. Count is now 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. Taking a look to see if I can get an update on that out-of-town scoreboard, as it's still 3-1 in the top of the 5th inning. Cy Sneed still pitching for the Swallows. It looked like it was a Murakami home run, a 2-run homer. And Nagioka hit a home run as well. So Murakami opens up his account. His first homer of that series. So here comes the 2-2 pitch from Utagawa. as he holds at the chest. Checks the runner at second and delivers. It's a fastball swung on and missed. And Graciela is down on strikes for the third out of the inning. And that is going to do it. There were no runs in the inning. There was a hit, no errors, and 2 runners left the board. We are now moving to the bottom of the 6th inning. Your score is the Orix Buffaloes 4 and the Fukuoka SoftBank Hawks 2. Stick around, everybody. We're going to try and get ourselves another cup of coffee. Hopefully you guys can have another cup of Joe with us as well, and we'll be back in just a couple of moments. Welcome back, everybody. We are moving here to the bottom of the 6th inning. And the Buffaloes are going to be sending the 9, 1, and 2 hitters to the plate. That means it's going to be Tori Fushimi, Shuhei Fukuda, and Yuma Mune. And we will be seeing what they have to offer here. Are the Hawks staying with Ozeki, or have they gone to the bullpen? I'll get you that update as soon as it becomes available. 4-2 is the scoreline. It was the 2-run homer by Sugimoto in the top half of the inning. By all accounts, it looks like that the Utagawa might be coming back in for another inning. But we do have a pitching change. Ozeki's day is done. It looks like it's going to be Samori coming in, and I'll confirm that for you. So a right-hander coming onto the bump. And Akira Nakamura is going to take over at first base. Looks like we have a new left fielder as well. We'll have to get you that as the updates are moving in here for you. Just taking a look to see if looks like it's Tanagawara, the left fielder, who is going to be out there as well. The first pitch from Samori is a fastball that misses upstairs for ball 1. Yuki Samori on the season, 51 games. He was 4-6. He worked 46 in the third innings, allowed 36 hits, 24 walks, and 51 Ks, and he had an ERA of 2.91. Here's the pitch. It is a changeup, swung on and missed. The count is now 1-1. So Yuki Samori is on in relief of Ozeki, the third pitcher used tonight. So here comes the 1-1 pitch now to Fushimi as he holds at the belt. Now he kicks and he delivers. It's a breaking ball, swung on and missed. The count is now 1-2. I would have to say, watching Fushimi hit, I would use the word clueless sometimes at the plate at some of the swings that he takes. I know he's a catcher. You'd think that the catcher would have a better approach at the plate, or at least a better understanding of what the pitchers are trying to do to him. But he has had some ugly swings. Here comes the 1-2 pitch. As the right-hander holds at the belt, and now he kicks and delivers. It's a breaking ball that swung on and fouled away, and the count remains at 1-2 strikes. Fushimi has a hit tonight in 2 trips to the plate. As we said, he did not get the start behind the plate last night. It was Kenya Wakatsuki who did. So between the 2 catchers, they've each had a hit in both of the ball games that they've played. So here comes the 1-2 pitch. And Samori kicks and he delivers. It's a fastball that misses off the outside corner. And the count goes even at 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. Long way to go in this one. 4-2 lead. I don't know if I would be safe in putting any type of long bets on the Buffaloes in this one, unless they can start putting some instant runs on the board right here and now. Here's the pitch. Should see fastball swung on. It's grounded over to short. And Mamiya fields it. He throws over to first. That is going to retire Fushimi. It's a ground out 6-3 for the first out of the inning, and that'll bring up the top of the order in Shuhei Fukuda. Well, for Fukuda tonight, he is 2 for 3. He's got a couple of singles in his 3 trips. He was raced on a fielder's choice back in the first inning, and he flown to left. So Fukuda is 2 for 7 in the series. So one thing today I will say about the pitching for the Eagles, they haven't walked the guy yet. I had to go back and take a look at that. None of their pitchers have walked the guy. They've given up the hits, but no walks. There's the first pitch fastball that misses down to Fukuda, and the count is 1-0. So 1 ball and no strikes. The right-hander leans in. He gets his sign from his catcher, Kai. He works from the belt. It would drive me crazy if I had all these pitchers on how slow they were working. There was a fastball that misses outside. Counts now 2-0 to Fukuda. Getting the breakfast special coming in from the East Coast, I'm sure, in the next little bit. We appreciate you guys for hanging in here with us tonight. Here's the 2-0 pitch. As the right-hander kicks and he delivers. It's a fastball that's taken for a called strike. And the count is now 2-1. Samori able to hit that inside corner. I'm not so sure that the batter would agree with you. Here comes the 2-1 pitch from Samori. It's a fastball that misses upstairs. Count goes to 2-1. So 2 balls and 1 strike. Fukuda trying to find a way on here with 1 gone in the 6th inning. Right-hander Samori holds at the belt. And he gets his sign from his catcher, Kai. He works and delivers. It's a breaking ball taken for a called strike. The count now goes full to 3-2. So 3 balls and 2 strikes to Fukuda. Right-hander against the left-hander. Righty holds at the belt, and now he's ready to deliver. He kicks, and he fires. It's a fastball swung on it. It's grounded up the middle. It is fielded by Imamiya. He throws to first. And that is going to do it for Fukuda. He's gone on a ground out 6-3 for the second out of the inning. It's going to leave it all up to Yuma Mune. Well, Mune is officially 1 for 3 tonight. He's got a single in 3 trips. He's also flown to center, and he has bounced into a fielder's choice. So 4-2 lead here for the Buffaloes, and they're batting here in their half of the 6th. And a third more of this game to be completed. Here comes the offering. As it is a fastball swung on it. It is grounded over to the right side. It is fielded by the first baseman. They throw over to first. What a play by the pitcher, Samori. You had to reach back and get a poor throw from Nakamura. And that is going to do it. That's going to go down as a ground out 3-1. And that is going to finish it here in the 6th inning. Well, no runs in the inning, no hits, no errors, and nobody left the board. You're now through 6 complete innings. It is the Fukuoka SoftBank Hawks trailing the Orix Buffaloes 4-2. Stay tuned, everybody. We'll be back in just a couple of moments. It looks like there's going to be another pitching change. But we'll wait and see here in just a moment to see if that is going to come to fruition. We'll be right back in a few. Welcome back, everybody. We have a pitching change, and we're going to get that for you in just a moment. It looks like Utagawa's day is completed. So they are just throwing the ball around the infield here, and we'll have to pick that up in just a moment. 4-11-0 for the Buffaloes, 2-6-0 for the Hawks. That is where we stand here. The Buffaloes are in the lead, and I would have to think at this point now it is going to be all about the Buffaloes trying to seal the deal here and closing this one off. Number 63 in the ball game. And we'll get you the update on that in a second. It is a right-hander for Orix, and that would be Hitaki Yamazaki, or Soichiro Yamazaki, I guess is where it is. So Soichiro Yamazaki, 15 ball games he appeared in this year. He had no wins and 2 losses. Worked 36 innings, allowed 30 hits. Walked 10 and struck out 29 and had an ERA of 3. So Soichiro Yamazaki on in relief. Will be the third pitcher used today by the Buffaloes. And this is the way you shorten up the ball game. You've got some relievers who can do the job. So he is going to be entrusted to face the 9-1-2 hitters in the batting order. It'll be Takuya Kai, Masaki Momori, and Yukio Shudo. 9-1-2 to face them here. So the right-hander has completed his tosses, and now we're ready to resume the action. Boy, we're even looking at more tragic numbers. I'm looking at the crowd here, and it is weak in Osaka. Even the upper deck closer to home plate, hardly any fans in the stands. There's a fastball that misses outside, and the count is 1-0. So I'm not sure if that has to do that it's related to COVID. We saw Yokohama outdoors. People were packed in there like sardines. So here comes the 1-0 pitch. As he delivers it as a fastball that is swung on and missed, and the count's now 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. Right-handed hitting Takuya Kai. He's got 1 hit in 2 trips to the plate tonight so far. Here's the pitch. It's a fastball swung on and missed. The count goes to 1-2. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. Yamazaki gets his sign. If I'm Yamazaki, I'm going power all the way here against Takuya Kai. Here's the 1-2. There's a fastball swung on, and Kai fouls it straight back. He was right on the pitch. The count is 1 ball and 2 strikes. That last pitch was at 159 kilometers an hour, 99-mile-an-hour fastball. So 1 ball and 2 strikes to Kai. As the right-hander gets his sign from his catcher Fushimi, and he works to the set position. And here comes the 1-2. He kicks and fires. It's a fastball swung on. It's lined into center field, and coming in is the center fielder Fukuda, who looks like he's made the catch. Beautiful catch over there. Yamazaki even gives him a round of applause. I had to take a look at that one. I thought it was going to never get to that. Fukuda got a good jump on the ball, came racing in, and he picks it off his shoe tops. And that is going to retire Kai for the first out of the inning. So 1 up and 1 away, and that'll bring up the top of the order in Masaki Momori. Well, for Momori tonight, he is officially 1 for 2. He doubled his first time up. He grounded the first, and then he had a sacrifice bunt his last time. There's a first pitch fastball swung on. It's grounded back to the pitcher who fields it. He throws to first, and that's going to retire Momori on a ground out 1-3. He's gone for out number 2, and that's going to leave it up to Yukio Shudo. Not too many clean innings today for the Hawks. Only 1 in the 4th inning by Miyagi. All the rest of the stuff has been at least base runner in all the rest of the innings. They have a chance here to take the Hawks and go 1-2-3. And the first pitch is a fastball swung on. It's grounded over to short, fielded by Adachi, who throws to first. And there's your 1-2-3 inning, just like that. as Sachiro Yamazaki comes in and does the job. No runs in the inning, no hits, no errors, and nobody left the board. We are now through 6.5. It is the Buffaloes 4 and the Hawks 2. Stay tuned, everybody. We'll be back in just a couple moments with the call right after this. Appreciate you being here. Would you like to support Last Drafts Baseball? We would appreciate it if you did. Be sure to check out our eBay page where we have baseball merchandise. We also have stuff from the Japanese League for those who listen from Japan, but we also do other sports like football and basketball as well. Don't forget, visit Last Drafts Baseball's eBay store to help support the channel. We'll be glad you did. Welcome back, everybody. It's probably yet another pitching change that we have to get updated on when we get back here. It is the Fukuoka SoftBank Hawks who will be coming to face the 3, 4, and 5 hitters in the batting order. Kai Nakagawa, Masataki Yoshida, and Masahiro Nishino are slated to come to bat here in the inning. Just waiting for the confirmation of the pitching change. So hang tight. We'll be getting that to you as we can. Top of the 7th inning, as the Buffaloes have themselves a 4-2 lead. I don't know if we're in the top. We're actually going to the bottom of the 7th inning now. To update our ticker here for you. So here comes the first offering to Kai Nakagawa. And it's still going to be Samori on the hill. It's a fastball that misses upstairs. The count is 1-0. So 1 ball and no strikes. Have to fix our banner, which has been now completed, as we are in the bottom half of the 7th. There's the pitch. It is a fastball taken for a called strike. The count is now 0-2. So no balls and 2 strikes to Nakagawa. Samori holds at the belt. He's ready to go at it again. Now he kicks, and he delivers. It is a breaking ball, swung on and missed. Nakagawa is down on strikes for the first time tonight. He is erased, and that is going to bring up the left fielder Masataka Yoshida. Well, it's going to bring up Yoshida, but that's going to bring an end to the night for Samori. He did his job. He came in and faced 4 batters and retired all the 4 that he faced. But his night is done. They're going to be going to the bullpen here. We'll be right back in just a moment, and we'll get you that update when we can. We'll be right back, everybody. Welcome back, everybody. It is the left-hander and the veteran coming in. It's going to be Kayama, and one would have to expect he's probably only got a couple of batters in him. This is Shinya Kayama. Worked 56 ball games this year. He has no record, 27 and third innings, 18 hits, 11 walks. He struck out 22, and he has a 0.99 ERA. He is a veteran, and he is going to be 33 years old in November. So he is coming on in relief. He'll be facing Yoshida, and then it'll be Nishino follow there. So let's see what it is going to bring to us here is the lefty, situational lefty Kayama. Well, he's completed his tosses. Now I don't know what the delay is as they're just panning around. There's one gone here in the seventh inning. As he has acknowledged everybody else, he picks up the rosin bag and he's ready to go here to face Masataka Yoshida. Not an easy task. Yoshida today has been on base all 3 times. He's 2 for 2 and he's been hit by a pitch. So here he comes to the plate. And the lefty is ready to get going at it here. Kayama holds set. And now he kicks and delivers. It's a first pitch fastball swung on. It is hit to deep center field. Moving back onto the warning track and making the grab up against the wall is the center fielder Makihara. That's going to retire Yoshida. Yoshida sent it a long ways, just not long enough. He's gone for out number 2, and that is going to bring up the second baseman Masahiro Nishino. Well, Nishino steps to the plate. Officially 0 for 1. He's had a sacrifice fly driven in a run, and he had a sacrifice bunt. So 0 for 1 as he struck out and reached on the wild pitch back in the first inning. So here comes the first offering from the left-handed pitching Kayama, and it's a fastball taken for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. That time the call from the home plate umpire was so slow, ball was already back in the hands of the pitcher by the time he was finishing his call. There's a fastball swung on and it's fouled away. This time, maybe that time it caught the home plate umpire. Maybe that'll give him a wake-up call. Pick up the pace a little bit. Now it's 0 balls and 2 strikes. Foul ball looked like he got the worst of it, hit him right in the shin. I could see the deflection. It actually came off Kai, and then it hit the umpire. So Takuya Kai caught him in the shin guard, and it deflected right back off of the ump. So here's the 0-2 pitch. It's a fastball that misses down and away, and the count is now 1-2. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. Lots of action still to go in this one. We got basically... Right now, it's 1 full inning and a half, as we may not make it to the bottom half. So that fastball swung on and fouled away, and the count now remains at 1-2 to Nishino. Pitcher Kayama is off the backside of the rubber, and he's tying his shoes. Anything to slow the game down, I guess. Just keeps slowing the game into a drag. So 1 ball and 2 strikes to the left-handed hitting. They refer to here as with the 2 outs here, Nishino looking to try to find a way on board. There's a fastball that just misses, and the count's now 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. So 2 balls and 2 strikes as the lefty is getting his sign from his catcher, and he's ready to go to work. As he kicks and delivers, it is a fastball that swung on. It's grounded softly over to first, over to second, fielded by the second baseman who flips it to first. It's going to go down as a ground out 4-3. Nishino is retired for the 3rd out of the inning, and that is going to do it here in the 7th inning. There were no runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left the board. We are now through 7 complete. It is a 4-2 Buffalo lead. We're into the deep water. Buffaloes look like they're making another pitching change. We'll get that for you when we come back. Welcome back, everybody. It is going to be the 3, 4, and 5 hitters to come to bat for the Hawks when we return. That's going to be Yannikita, Despania, and Imamia. Hold tight. We'll be back after this, as there is going to be another pitching change for the Buffaloes. Welcome back, everybody. It is going to be Jacob Waguespack coming into the ball game. The American right-hander is going to be taking over for Sachiro Yamazaki. Waguespack is pitcher number 4 used today by the Buffaloes. He is going to be taking over here. Waguespack got some starts at the beginning of the year. And then toward the last half of the year, they moved him into the bullpen. That is where he has been working from ever since. So Waguespack in the former Toronto Blue Jay. Kentaro Kobayashi has come in at short. And Rio Dachi has gone over to second base. And that is going to be the end of the night for Nishino. So we'll have those when we get have that for you in a bit. The specs on Waguespack, he was worked in 32 games this year. He had a 2-6 record. He actually had 5 saves. He worked 72 2/3 innings. He allowed 63 hits. He walked 29 and struck out 81. And the first pitch delivered to Yanagita is a fastball that swung on and fouled away. And the count is 0-1. So here we go. 1 for 2 on the afternoon is the left-hand hitting Yanagita. He's also got himself a walk. And here's the pitch. It is a breaking ball that misses inside, and the count is now 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. It'll be interesting to see if they're going to bring Hirano out for the 9th. He came out yesterday to get the save. And so or actually was a non-save situation. They brought him out for the 9th inning after Yamamoto had gone in a strong 8 innings. There's a fastball that misses outside. The count is now 2-1. So 2 balls and 1 strike. Waguespack delivers. There's a fastball swung on and missed. And the count is now 2 balls and 2 strikes. Last pitch almost looked like it was either a slider or maybe even some sort of sinker type pitch, but it wasn't the traditional 4-seam variety. Here's the 2-2. There's a fastball swung on and fouled away. The count remains at 2 balls and 2 strikes to Yuki Yanagita. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. Yanagita waggles the bat. Waiting here on the offering from Waguespack. And here comes the offering now to Yanagita. It's a fastball swung on and missed. And he is gone for out number 1 here in the 8th inning. Waguespack doing the job, getting the first batter he faces. Yanagita waved at that last pitch. That's going to bring up Alfredo Despania to the plate. Despania is 1 for 3 tonight. He's got a single in 3 trips. He's also driven in a run. So there's 5 outs left for the Hawks to have to do any type of damage here. As Waguespack gets the sign from his catcher and he delivers. It's a breaking ball that drops in for a called strike. Counts quickly 0-1. So no balls and 1 strike. It is currently now 5-1 in the top of the 6th inning as the Swallows are beating up on the Tigers. There's a breaking ball swung on and fouled away, and the count is now 0-2. So no balls and 2 strikes. Waguespack ready to go back to work. He kicks and he fires. There's a breaking ball swung on. It's grounded over to third. Mune fields it. He throws on one hop over to first, and that's going to retire to Spanny on a ground out to 5-3. Nice play by Mune. Nice defensive web gem, and that's going to leave it all up to the shortstop, Kenta Imamiya. Well, Imamiya tonight 0 for 2. He struck out twice. He's also drawn a walk. In the series, he is 0 for 4. He has struck out every single time. But he's also got a walk, and he has a sacrifice bunt. So Wagus back looking good, because he's ready to face the light hitting, pretty good average, but generally a light hitting shortstop of the Hawks, who takes a fastball inside for ball one, and the count is 1-0. So 1 ball and no strikes. So he said, I'll be curious to see if they're going to roll Hirano out for the ninth. There's the fastball that misses inside, and counts now 2-0. So 2 balls and no strikes to Imamiya. And here's the pitch. It is a fastball that misses upstairs. The count is now 3-0. Well, you don't want to walk the hitter where you're and bring the tying run to the plate. Waguespack has been pretty good retiring the first 2, but now he can't seem to throw a strike to Imamiya. So 3 balls and no strikes. Right-hander Waguespack gets his sign, and now he rocks into the motion. He kicks and delivers. It's a fastball taken for a called strike, and the count is now 3-1. It'll be Taisi Makihara who waits his turn on deck. So 3-1 to Imamiya. Waguespack kicks and delivers. It's a fastball that misses upstairs. That's going to be ball 4. As Imamiya has drawn himself a walk. It's the second time he's been on base today via the base on balls. That is going to bring up the center fielder, Taisi Makihara. Well, for Makihara, he is 0 for 3 today. He's lined to third. He has struck out, and he has flown out to the left fielder. So here comes the first offering to Makihara as the right-hander working from the stretch. He kicks and delivers. It's a fastball that misses down and away, and the count is 1-0. Always interested to see how pitchers sometimes work maybe differently from the windup and the stretch. Seen some guys over time that really work it well from the windup, and all of a sudden they go from the stretch and they don't know what the heck they're doing. So it is 1 ball and no strikes to Taisi Makihara. And the pitch is a fastball swung on, is chopped up the middle, and it's going to get through for a base hit. And that is going to advance Imamiya over to second. And Makihara has got himself a single. He is aboard. And that is going to bring up the first baseman, Akira Nakamura. Well, for Nakamura, this is his the second trip to the plate. He flew out to left field when he came in to replace Richard earlier in the ball game. So this is going to bring him up to the plate. Waguespack gets a new baseball, and he's ready to go back at it here. So not only is the tying run aboard, the go-ahead run is now at the plate. All of this has started with 2 outs here in the 8th inning. So here comes the first pitch now to Nakamura. It's a breaking ball that drops in for a called strike, and the count is quickly 0-1. So no balls and 1 strike. They have something brewing here to the Hawks as they're looking for a way to get back into this ball game. Here comes the 0-1. It's a fastball that misses down. They appeal over to the third base umpire, and up goes the right hand. They said that Nakamura had gone around, and the count is now 2-2. As we look at on relief, it did look like he had gone around. I don't think Nakamura necessarily liked it, but you could tell that he went around on that one. So no balls and 2 strikes it is. And here comes the offering from Waguespack. He holds set. He checks the runner. And now he kicks and fires. It's a fastball swung on and missed. Nakamura gone on strikes for the 3rd out of the inning. It was a bit of a roller coaster inning, getting the first 2 outs, then allowing a couple of hits. So no runs, 2 hits, no errors, and 2 left the board. We are now moving to the bottom of the 8th inning. It is the Fukuoka SoftBank Hawks trailing the Orix Buffaloes 4-2. Hang tight, everybody. We'll be right back in just a couple moments. Again, I'm going to put this on loop. We got to go get ourselves a drink. We got to make a pit stop on the in-between. So hang tight, guys. We'll be right back after this. Welcome back, everybody. We are moving to the bottom half of the 8th inning, and it's going to be Yataro Sugimoto, T. Okada, and Ryo Adachi to come to bat for the Buffaloes in their half of the 8th inning. It is going to be a pitching change, as it looks like we have another right-hander getting onto the mound. It's going to be Fuji coming on in relief for the Fukuoka SoftBank Hawks. We'll just get you the specs on Fuji in a minute. The former Hiroshima Toyo Carp on in relief, as it is Sugimoto who he is going to face. Of course, Sugimoto had homered in his last at bat. Fuji on in relief here, ready to face Sugimoto. So Koya Fuji. The first pitch is a fastball that's taken for a ball, and the count is 1-0. It'll be Sugimoto here, and then we said Okada and Adachi. I think it'll be, and as we said, Nishino is where the Kotaro Kobayashi is going to be hitting in that part of the order. There is a fastball that misses, and the count is now 2-0. So 2 balls and no strikes. Sugimoto waggling the bat. There's a breaking ball from Fuji that drops in for a called strike, and the count is now 2-1. So 2 balls and 1 strike. Sugimoto tonight has 2 hits, actually 3 hits in his times to the plate, 3 for 3. And he had that home run, the 2-run variety, the last time, which is the difference in the ball game. There's a fastball that misses inside, and the count is now 3-1. So 3 balls and 1 strike. And what a boon that is for the Buffaloes. This guy is swinging the bat well. So 3 balls and 1 strike to Sugimoto. The right-hander works in the set position, and now he kicks and delivers, does Fuji. It's a fastball swung on. It's lifted into the seats over on the first base side. And the count count is 3-2 to Sugimoto. I think if we're going to do these late night games, I think I'm going to have to get a coffee sponsor. Somebody's going to have to give us a sponsorship for coffee, if anything, that can help keep us awake. 3 balls and 2 strikes. As the right-hander Fuji now kicks and delivers. It's a fastball swung on and another one fouled away over on the first base side. And the count remains at 3-2. I was talking about pitches that you don't see a ton of in the Japanese league. You don't see a lot of changeups. Major League Baseball, you get fastballs and changeups, and that's the way that they work. Where the split finger pitch is kind of the third pitch that most players would throw. If it's a fastball, breaking ball, split finger, sometimes the split finger is just as important. And there is a fastball that swung on and fouled away. It's going to reach the netting on the first base side. The count remains at 3 balls and 2 strikes. So Sugimoto gets himself dug back in. And now he's waiting on the 3-2 offering again from Fuji. As Fuji now comes set. And he kicks and delivers. It is a fastball swung on. It is grounded softly over to third. It is fielded neatly by Shudo, but the throw is in time. Oh boy, we're going to have a look at this one. They're definitely going upstairs. Shudo threw it on the run. The first baseman Nakamura had to go to the outfield side and try to stay engaged with the base to be able to catch the ball. The first base coach doesn't believe that that was going to be a out. He's already ordered up the VAR to the manager. We'll see what that's going to look like here in a second, as they think he is safe. So we'll see how this is going to work here in just a moment. Shudo, as we said, he got over in which to get to the position that the umpire wouldn't be there, but it was a race to the bag. And I don't think that the Spaniard got there. We're going to watch the replay again. The throw here is, did he keep the foot on the base is the question for Nakamura. It's actually a nice play by Nakamura, as he had to go into the foul line side and then catch the ball backhanded as he had come through the bag. That's the question now. Was he still engaged with the bag? And it's going to be close. It's going to be, we're going to have to see another angle to this here. And there's the angle, another angle that we've got. And I think he's going to be okay. I think that angle there may have shown it. I don't know why they're taking so long. I think he's going to be okay. I think he's going to be able to hold the bag. And that'll get him an out. Here comes there, and they have ruled him out. That's going to go as a ground out, 5-3. So Sugimoto is retired for the first out of the inning, and that will bring up the first baseman, T. Okada. So Okada strides to the plate. He is officially 0 for 3. He has bounced into a fielder's choice, and he has grounded out to the first baseman twice. So he bats from the left side against the right-handed throwing Fuji. 0 for 3 in the series, 0 for 3 in the game. Here's the pitch. The fastball swung on it, is popped up behind home plate. But that looks like it's going to reach the seats. All Takuya Kai can do is watch it sail in there. No balls and 1 strike. So Fuji ready to go back at it again. He gets the sign from his catcher. And he kicks and he delivers. It is a breaking ball that misses down, and the count is 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike to T. Okada. The Hawks are going to be down to their last at-bats coming up here, and as we're here in the bottom of the 8th inning, it'll be important as that it's going to be the 8, 9, and 1 hitters in the order coming up for the Hawks. There's a breaking ball that drops in, and the count is now 1-2. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. And here's the offering. It is a breaking ball that swung on and missed. And Fuji has retired Okada tonight. Via these strikes, he's gone for out number 2, and that's going to bring up The shortstop, Rio Adachi. Actually, it's now the second baseman, Rio Adachi. So Adachi strides to the plate. He is 1 for 3 tonight. He had a single. He was thrown out at the plate trying to score in the second inning. He is grounded to the pitcher, and he is grounded to first base. The first pitch is a fastball taken for a called strike. The count is 0-1. So no balls and 1 strike. And here's the offering. It's a fastball that misses outside, and the count is now 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. And here comes the 1-1 pitch. It's a fastball swung on. This ball is lifted into center field, racing over to his left, leaping and making the catch is Taisi Makihara, and that is going to do it. Well, they got no runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left the board. We are now moving to the top of the 9th inning. It is a 4-2 lead for the Buffaloes over the Hawks. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back in just a couple more minutes. After this, we're going to try to bring this one home for you. Looks like another pitching change on the works. We'll be right back in a moment. Welcome back, everybody. It's going to be Shota Abbey coming in to try to close this one out. A little interesting that they are going to turn to him to do it. He worked 44 ball games this year. He had a 1-0 record, only had 3 saves because remember, Hirano in a non-save situation came in and pitched with a 5-run lead yesterday. So depending on where he was sitting, they chose not to bring him back out to close him out today. He has worked 44 innings. He's allowed 22 hits, has Abbey, and he's given up 10 walks, and he has struck out 42, and he has an ERA of 0.61, so we can understand why he is given the chance to close out the ball game here. Abbey looks like he knows what he's able to do. As he is just finishing his tosses here, and now we're ready to get the action pack underway. And he's got the 8, 9, and 1 hitters in the batting order. And the 8, 9 hitters, 9, 1 is going to be Yorisabel Graciel, Takuya Kai, and Masaki Momori. There are some defensive changes. Kai Nakagawa has come into first base for the Buffaloes. You have a new right fielder. I think that's Oda. Has gone into right. And it looks like we have, this is Tanagawara who is in. He actually came in for Graciel defensively. So Tanagawara takes a first pitch fastball for a called strike, and the count is quickly 0-1. So no balls and 1 strike to Tanagawara as the right-hander kicks and delivers. It's a fastball swung on, is grounded over to first. Fielded by Okada. He's going to take it himself. He's going to step on the bag. It's going to be a ground out to 3 for out number 1. That is going to bring up the catcher Takuya, or slated to bring up the catcher Takuya Kai. At this point, we may have a pinch hitter, and that's probably what it looks like right now. We are going to get a pinch hitter for Kai. And why not? Because Takuya Kai is not going to be the one defensively that's done the damage with the offensive stick. So Abbey ready to go here. As he kicks and delivers, it is a fastball that misses up and away for ball 1. And the count is 1-0. This is Kawase who is up to bat, as he is getting his playoff experience. he's delivered a fastball that catches the outside corner. The count is now 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. Akira Kawase or Hikaru Kawase is the batter here. Here comes the 1-1 pitch. There's a breaking ball swung on. This ball is lifted into deep left field. Racing back at it. This ball is down and it's off the wall. And Masataki Yoshida has chased it down, and they're going to hold the runner at second base. A double there by Tanagawara. And so the Hawks are not dead yet. It's going to bring up the top of the order, Masaki Momori. So we're ready to see how this is going to play out. The tying run has come to the plate. Momori tonight is officially 1 for 3. He's got double. He scored a run. He's grounded to third, or grounded to first. He's grounded to the pitcher, and he has a sacrifice bunt to his name. One would have to think this is definitely not a bunt situation. Got to swing the bat. They need a base hit. Outfield is a little bit shallow, so they can throw the runner out. And the first pitch is a fastball swung on. It's grounded right to Okada at first, who makes the play, and that is going to retire Momori. 1 pitch there, and he is gone. Ground out to 3 for the second out of the inning. And that is going to bring up the third baseman, Yukio Shudo. So the Hawks are down to their last out. As we are here in the top of the 9th inning. Hadn't kept up on my ticker here, as we had the bathroom and coffee breaks on the in-between. Sometimes you got to do it that way. Here we are in the top of the 9th inning. So they're down to their final out. We're ready to go down 3-0 in this series. So Shudo stands in on the left side. Here's the first pitch from Abby. It's a fastball swung on it. Missed, and the count is quickly 0-1. No balls and 1 strike. And we have Shotgun Shell in the house here still, hanging in here with us. Here comes the 0-1 pitch as the right-hander kicks and delivers. It's a fastball that just misses off the outside corner. Count goes even at 1-1 to Shudo. So the runner is at third here with 2 gone. But the important one is the batter at the plate. Here comes the 1-1 pitch as Abby kicks and delivers. It's a fastball swung on it. It is grounded up the middle for a base hit. That's going to score a run. It almost took the pitcher's leg off. Shudo's got himself a single. That's going to add an RBI. That's going to score to the runner Tanagawara from third base. So he's going to bring the tying run at first base. The go-ahead run, and Yanagita is coming to the plate. So we've got some drama here in Osaka. That ball was lined right back at the pitcher, and it went right through his legs. So the Hawks are not dead yet. And what do you know? We got the bot again. Not anymore. Shooting bots down. So Yuki Yanagita steps to the plate. For Yanagita tonight, he reached base in the first inning on a walk. He doubled and knocked a run in the third. He has struck out 2 times as well. So he is the go-ahead run. So Abby ready to deliver here. Here's the first offering now to Yuki Yanagita. And now he kicks and fires. It's a split finger pitch and misses down for ball 1. And the count is 1-0. Alfredo Despani awaits his turn on deck. Sometimes you got to load the gun and shoot the bots down. Our friend Shotgun Shell would probably have to agree. So 1 ball and no strikes. And here comes the pitch to Yanagita as the right-hander Abby instead throws over to first base, and diving back in time is the base runner. Shudo can run. They got to keep an eye on Shudo. I know I wouldn't probably be putting him in motion, but if they could steal him here, put the runner in scoring position, and then a base hit would tie the ball game. But you got to believe he's got to get a good jump. And here's the pitch. It is a split finger pitch, swung on and missed. The count is now 1 ball and 1 strike to Yanagita. The home crowd is making their noise, cheering their team to bring this one home. The other game that's going on is in the top of the 7th inning. It's 5-1 for the Swallows. So here comes the 1-1 pitch. As he kicks and delivers, there's a fastball swung on. This ball is belted down the right field line, but it's going to be hooked foul into foul territory. Boy, Yanagita sent that one a mile, but wasn't able to keep that one fair. Everybody in the crowd took a big, huge sigh of relief. That ball was crushed. So 1 ball and 2 strikes to Yanagita. Just as a reminder, once this game is done, we'll do a little quick recap, and then we will call it a night. So here comes the 1-2. As the right-hander holds set. And he fires over to first base, and diving back in time is Shudo. You got to wonder if they're going to maybe try to put him in motion. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. Yanagita down to his final strike, as are the Hawks. And again, they throw over to first base, and again diving back in time as the base runner Shudo. And we're going to do this 1-2 pitch all over again. Yuki Yanagita looking to try to keep this game going here for the Hawks. Here's the 1-2 pitch. As Abby holds at the belt. Now we wait, and now he delivers. It's a split finger pitch down in the dirt. The count is now 2-2. Why do I just get the feeling that Yanagita is going to deposit one into the seats? Just if he gets a good pitch to hit, it's like he's right on Abby right now. So 2 balls and 2 strikes, 2 away. We're here in the top of the 9th inning. You're down to the final strike and the final out. And here comes the 2-2. Abby delivers. It's a fastball that just misses low. Oh, they wanted that pitch. It was right at almost at the knee high, right on the outside corner of the plate. But they say that no, it wasn't a strike. So now you know the runner is going to be in motion. Any type of ball hit to the gap, you know that Shudo can run. He's going to probably be able to score. So here comes the 3-2 pitch. Abby ready to deliver. He takes a deep breath. He checks the runner over at first. He works set to the belt. And here comes the 3-2. As he kicks and delivers, it's a fastball that misses down and away. It's going to be ball 4. And now the go-ahead run is at first. The tying run is at second. And that's going to bring Alfredo Despania to the plate. Oh, it's nail-biting time in Osaka. The Buffaloes are definitely not making it easy for themselves. Despania comes to the plate. He tonight is 1 for 4. He's got a single and 4 trips. He's also driven in a run. So Despania coming to bat here. With runners at first and second. And 2 gone. The big fella here waiting on the offering now from Abby. And the right-hander holds set at the belt. He checks the runner, Shudo at second. And now he delivers. It's a split finger pitch swung on and missed, and the count is quickly 0-1. It was one wild swing by Alfredo Despania. So no balls and 1 strike. It's kind of like a tennis match where you've got the team down to their final. Whereas when it's like deuce or match point, there's a split finger pitch that misses down in the dirt, and the count is now 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike to Alfredo Despania. My friend Shotgun's Shell says, throw strikes, kid. That's exactly it. If they beat you, let them beat you with the bat. So 1 ball and 1 strike it is. Abby on the mound. The runner at second is Shudo. The runner at first is Yanagita. And there is a fastball that is swung on and missed. The count now goes to 1-2. So once again, they're down to their final strike. This is like double match point. As I said in tennis, it's their second time they've been down to their final strike. Can Alfredo Despania keep it going? If this happens here, then the chances of the Hawks coming back become microscopic in this series. So here comes the 1-2 offering. And here comes the 1-2. He kicks and delivers. It's a split finger pitch. It's swung on and missed. And they tag Despania, and that is going to do it. That's the ball game. As he goes down on strikes for out number 3. Well, they got a run in the inning. They get 1 back. They had 1 run. There was 2 hits. There were no errors, and there were 2 runners left aboard. That's the final one right there. And your final score is the Orix Buffaloes 4 and the Fukuoka SoftBank Hawks 3. Stay tuned, everybody. We'll be back in 30 seconds, and I'll give you the wrap-up after this. Final score, 4-3. We'll be right back. Welcome back, everybody. Your final score was 4-3 for the Orix Buffaloes over the Fukuoka SoftBank Hawks. And the scoring came in the first inning, as it was a leadoff double by Misaki Momori for the Hawks. He was moved over to third on a groundout by Yukio Shudo after a walk to Yuki Yanagita. Alfredo Despania bounced into a fielder's choice, and that scored the first run of the ball game. The Buffaloes responded in their half of the first inning. It was a leadoff single by Fukuda. He advanced on he was erased on a fielder's choice as Yumamune reached first, and then Nakagawa reached on a fielder's choice, which erased Mune. That was putting it at 2 outs. Masataki Yoshida was hit by a pitch. Masahiro Nashino reached on a strikeout, and Yatara Sugimoto singled to the shortstop, scoring Nakagawa, but it was Masataki Yoshida's boneheaded base running. He got thrown out at the plate, and that score was 1-0 for the he tied the score up at 1-1 with the Buffaloes and the Hawks. Well, the score then changed as the Hawks scored in the top of the third inning. With one out, it was a single by Shuto, and then an RBI double by Yanagita put the Hawks up 2-1. Again, the Buffaloes responded in their half of the third. A single by Nakagawa, a single by Yoshida, and then a sacrifice fly by Nishino, even the score at 2. In the fifth inning, it was Masataki Yoshida led off with a single. He was bunted over to second, and then Yatara Sugimoto had hit a 2-run homer to make the score 4-2. Well, the ninth inning was where it got interesting. After one out, then it was Tanagawara hit a double, a ground out by Mamori moved him over to third, and then it was a single by Yukio Shuto that scored Tanagawara. And then it was a walk to Yanagita, and there was runners at first and second. Alfredo Despania was at the plate, and he struck out. And that is how the ball game ended. All right, everybody, come on back tomorrow night. We're going to do this all over again. It'll be the third game of the series. If the Buffaloes win, they clinch, and that'll be it. Once again, everybody, thanks again for being with us here tonight. It's been another Last Raps Baseball video production. We'll be back here